pa tipta yaku inen aikilua hasa pa tipta dura inen admilua amu timta omnigadur yanamur antuk athakamud bitarug shilpanamur Wadignawur Kalunfi Navoruk Yanawur Amun Timta Hu 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 Timta Nagut 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 So, oh, you don't have to cut it yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so.
What you want to do? Turn the camera to
okay. Okay, great. Yeah, this will be perfect right here. Right here. And you can go over here on this side. There you go. Perfect. All right, so this is what separates the deities from the mortals. It came on the Alex Jones show. It was on Rents.com. It was on the news that Ukraine launched a long-distance ballistic missile toward Russia. Vladimir Putin has stated if it enters their airspace, he's going to use nuclear. So we will see what happens in the next maybe 19 hours. In the meantime, this is why I did this healing fire, to stop that. And we know this has everything to do with the child trafficking going through the Ukraine, the bioweapons labs that's going on through the Ukraine, the money laundering going on through the Ukraine. All of this is occurring, and there's people, other government officials across the planet that are aware of this. So since we are the indigenous people and it's our planet, I'm putting the notice out to the Intergalactic Confederation that I require them to intercede and to intervene on our behalf, because it's clear that when these Amorites, these Aldebarans from the Pleiades star system are put in a position where it's shown that they have to comply, they still want to dishonor, and if they can't get what they want, they will destroy and kill anybody. So this is my statement, this is my notice as plenipotentiary of the planet called Earth, that I require the Anunnaki, I require the Intergalactic Confederation, the Nichiru, to intervene and stop this potential war that will destroy the planet and kill all life on the planet, and we don't want that. So I leave it in your hands, Intergalactic Confederation. Send us a sign, send me a sign that you have accepted this offering and that you are going to intercede and stop this potential destruction of the planet on our behalf. The white Autochthons on planet called Ta, Earth in English, Tiamat Zurakaya Kai. Khashikadur, Khashikadur, Khashikadur. White power, white power, white power. Amun Re.
I dare you to let me build you a completely free e-commerce store preloaded with 20 handpicked products that are trending all over the world, basically validated by AI from a trend.
The trumpets of the Pharaoh took Ankamun, Lord of the Clouds, King of the South and North, Son of Re.
plenipotentiary, Chief Nanya Shabuel. That was the silver trumpet, and now the copper trumpet. And so, after a silence of over 3,000 years, these two voices out of Egypt's glorious past have gone echoing across the world. Khashuk Gadur.
Nah, I mean, these SF-181 race and ethnicity definitions brought to you by the Office of Management and Budget, the Office of Personnel Management, my nigga, and the U.S. Department of Education. Don't like what I'm saying? Rip up your diplomas, your master's degrees, your PhDs.
Jello Beats, holla at me.
I am white though. 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 Melanin means white. I am white though. I am white though. Melanin means white. I am white though. White is right. Melanin means white. I am white. I mean, white is right. Melanin means white. I am white though. I am white though. I am white though. Get white, get right. I am white though. I am white though. Get white, get right. I am white though. Melanin means white. I am white though. Get white, get right. I am white though. Melanin means white. I am white though. White is right. Melanin means white. I am white. I mean, white is right. Melanin means white. I am white though. I am white though. I am white though. Get white, get right. I am white though. I am white though. Get white, get right. I am white though. Melanin means white. I am white though. Get white, get right. I am white though. Melanin means white. I am white though. White is right. Melanin means white. I am white though. I am white though. I am white though. Get white, get right. I am white though. I am white though. Get white, get right. I am white though. Melanin means white. I am white though. Get white, get right. I am white though. Melanin means white. I am white though. White is right. Melanin means white. I am white. I am white. Melanin means white. I am white though. It's up to us with melanin to change the face of white. White, a person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, or North Africa.
Timta rawa ila entity nahlan jawahed. Abdurkul shayuat biwasamus patimta. Begin all things by first using the all. All white. We're going to get into some of these news stories. We'll save the distraction for last. So we're going to get right into it. For those that's on Facebook, please put your questions and comments in the Facebook. I'll get to it. Those that are on Zoom, put yours on Zoom and put those in the chat as well. And I will get to them. So we're going to get to, we got a lot of these articles connect to what is currently happening, where every time I mention child trafficking ring, Jeffrey Epstein will come up, or a ring will come up in some other country, or the situation where the Alberta Teachers Association invited a country music singer to be the keynote speaker. He speaks out a lot on human trafficking. And it was interesting how all of this came out when I said there's a child trafficking ring operating in Edmonton, Alberta. Soon as I said that on episode 30, 48 hours later, the US government is releasing everything on the Epstein files. Of course, there's some redactions, but they're releasing it. We know why this is happening. No computer intelligence can say, oh, this is coincident, that it's, oh, what you did has no effect. It has everything to do. It's all interconnected. You can't say you want quantum physics and talk about quantum entanglement on one side, but then on the other side, you want to dismiss butterfly effect and what they call chaos theory, which we know as darkness theory. No, all things are connected. So let's get to this article here. This should be a video. Just let me switch over. Oh, this was today. This is what I'm talking about. This is the Schumann resonance. Earth's frequency, excuse me, back in overdrive. This was as of February 12th. Can everyone see? Great. So as you can see here, look at this. So the Earth's frequency is in overdrive. Look at all this here. They call this white out. We'll call it pale out. Or bright light. Look at this. The only other time it was like this was when we did, and it's interesting, February 12th, we did the ritual on the city of Edmonton on August 12th, 2025. So 6 months later to the day. So if you remember where you were on Thursday, February 12th, 2026, and if you were part of the ritual that we actually did it on August 12th, 2026, you can see there is obviously a connection. They said back in overdrive. So the spiritual work that we did, yeah, it is having an effect. Now this one is Jeffrey Epstein explaining how Wall Street really works. But keep in mind, he's not a financier.
When I went to the first person, I had no money. And I said, how much money do you make a year?
They call him a financier. He's not a financier. Epstein is a mathematician. He's into mathematics. He confessed that. So let's check this out. Let's look at this rather. Check it out. We're not chucking it out. We're receiving and looking at this.
When I went to the first person, I had no money. And I said, how much money do you make a year? And he said, $400,000. I said, impossible. I'm making $10,000.
That's probably more than your family had made in his entire existence.
Yes. And he makes it in a year. I said, what do you do? And he said, it's too complicated for you to understand. Which is what the main thrust of Wall Street people, they want to tell you it's too complicated. Because if you understood that that person was simply, he had a brother-in-law, in fact in this case, who ran the pension fund of General Motors. His brother-in-law would call him and say, buy 1,000 IBM. He'd hang up the phone, he'd write it out on a ticket and walk it to a window. That was his entire skill set. Hello, write what my brother-in-law says, walk it to a ticket window. When I went to the first person,
And see, that's called insider trading. See how you have to look at these things and you'll comprehend the way they're saying it. It seems like it's, oh, he just did that. No, that's insider trading. So he's basically saying that brother-in-law is telling him what to buy because he controls the pension fund. So he's helping other people become what? Millionaires. Albeit, though, violating the SEC in the process. So if you hear a big SEC case break Tuesday or Wednesday, you'll know why. And this article, The Godfather of AI warns, you have no idea what's coming. Oh, yes, we do. That's why we say you got to change the programming code.
I mean, the core idea of Bland is
can be done to slow. Are you at all hopeful that anything can be done to slow down the pace and acceleration of AI?
Okay, there's two issues. One is, can you slow it down?
Yeah.
And the other is, can you make it so it will be safe in the end? It won't wipe us all out. I don't believe we're going to slow it down.
Yeah.
And the reason I don't believe we're going to slow it down is because there's competition between countries and competition between companies within a country. And all of that is making it go faster and faster. And if the US slowed it down, China wouldn't slow it down.
Does Ilya think it's possible to make AI safe?
I think he does. He won't tell me what his secret source is. I'm not sure how many people know what his secret source is. I think a lot of the investors don't know what his secret source is, but they've given him billions of dollars anyway because they have so much faith in Ilya, which isn't foolish. I mean, he was very important in AlexNet, which got object recognition working well. He was the main force behind the things like GPT-2, which then led to ChatGPT. So I think having a lot of faith in Ilya is a very reasonable decision.
There's something quite haunting about the guy that made and was the main force behind GPT-2, which led rise to this whole revolution, left the company because of safety reasons. He knows something that I don't know about what might happen next.
Well, the company had, no, I don't know the precise details, but I'm fairly sure the company had indicated that it would use a significant fraction of its resources, of the compute time, for doing safety research. And then it reduced that fraction. I think that's one of the things that happened.
Yeah, that was reported publicly.
Yes.
Yeah. We'd gotten to the autonomous weapons part of the risk framework.
Right. So the next one is joblessness.
Yeah.
In the past, new technologies have come in which didn't lead to joblessness. New jobs were created. So the classic example people use is automatic teller machines. When automatic teller machines came in, a lot of bank tellers didn't lose their jobs. They just got to do more interesting things. But here, I think this is more like when they got machines in the Industrial Revolution, and you can't have a job digging ditches now because a machine can dig ditches much better than you can. And I think for mundane intellectual labor, AI is just going to replace everybody. Now, it may well be in the form of you have fewer people using AI assistants. So it's a combination of a person and an AI assistant are now doing the work that 10 people could do previously.
People say that it will create new jobs, though, so we'll be fine.
Yes, and that's been the case for other technologies, but this is a very different kind of technology. If it can do all mundane human intellectual labor, then what new jobs is it going to create? You'd have to be very skilled to have a job that it couldn't just do. So I don't think they're right. I think you can try and generalize from other technologies that have come in, like computers or automatic teller machines, but I think this is different.
People use this phrase, they say, AI won't take your job, a human using AI will take your job.
Yes, I think that's true. But for many jobs, that'll mean you need far fewer people. My niece answers letters of complaint to a health service. It used to take her 25 minutes. She'd read the complaint and she'd think how to reply and she'd write a letter. And now she just scans it into a chatbot and it writes the letter. She just checks the letter. Occasionally she tells it to revise it in some ways. The whole process takes her 5 minutes. That means she can answer 5 times as many letters. And that means they need 5 times fewer of her. So she can do the job that 5 of her used to do. Now, that will mean they need less people. In other jobs, like in healthcare, they're much more elastic. So if you could make doctors 5 times as efficient, we could all have 5 times as much healthcare for the same price. And that would be great. There's almost no limit to how much healthcare people can absorb. They always want more healthcare if there's no cost to it. There are jobs where you can make a person with an AI assistant much more efficient, and you won't lead to less people because you'll just have much more of that being done. But most jobs, I think, are not like that.
Am I right in thinking this sort of industrial revolution played a role in replacing muscles?
Yes, exactly.
And this revolution in AI replaces intelligence, the brain?
Yeah. So mundane intellectual labor is like having strong muscles, and it's not worth much anymore.
So muscles have been replaced. Now intelligence is being replaced.
Yeah.
So what remains?
Maybe for a while some kinds of creativity. But the whole idea of superintelligence is nothing remains. These things will get to be better than us at everything.
So what do we end up doing in such a world?
Well, if they work for us, we end up getting lots of goods and services for not much effort.
Okay. But that sounds tempting and nice, but I don't know, there's a cautionary tale in creating more and more ease for humans in it going badly.
Yes. And we need to figure out if we can make it go well. So the nice scenario is, imagine a company with a CEO who is very dumb, probably the son of the former CEO, and he has an executive assistant who's very smart, and he says, I think we should do this. And the executive assistant makes it all work. The CEO feels great. He doesn't understand that he's not really in control. And in some sense, he is in control. He suggests what the company should do. She just makes it all work. Everything's great. That's the good scenario.
And the bad scenario?
The bad scenario is she thinks, why do we need him?
Yeah.
Hey friends, Eric here. And in this video, I want to talk to you about how you can retire with just $300,000. Most people can retire with $100,000 a year of income. If you use a traditional finance retirement calculator, then you'll need a portfolio of approximately $1 to $2 million. And the math works out to be 1 million times 7%, and that gets you to around $17,000. So if you have a little bit more than $1 million, then you'll be retiring with $100,000. This means you need to save usually for 30 to 40 years to reach that goal. And if you are able to get a higher return, then you can retire.
Yeah. I mean, in a world where we have superintelligence, which you don't believe is that far away.
Yeah, I think it might not be that far away. It's very hard to predict, but I think we might get it in like 20 years or even less.
So what's the difference between what we have now and superintelligence? Because it seems to be really intelligent to me when I use like ChatGPT 3.0 or Gemini or...
Okay, so AI is already better than us at a lot of things. In particular areas, like chess, for example.
Yeah.
AI is so much better than us that people will never beat those things again. Maybe the occasional win, but basically they'll never be comparable again. Obviously the same in Go. In terms of the amount of knowledge they have, something like GPT-4 knows thousands of times more than you do. There's a few areas in which your knowledge is better than its, and in almost all areas it just knows more than you do.
What areas am I better than it?
Probably in interviewing CEOs. You're probably better at that. You've got a lot of experience at it. You're a good interviewer. You know a lot about it. If you got GPT-4 to interview a CEO, probably do a worse job.
Okay. I'm trying to think if I agree with that statement. GPT-4, I think, for sure.
Yeah.
But I guess you could train one.
But it may not be long before.
Yeah, I guess you could train one on this, how I ask questions and what I do. And
sure. And if you took a general purpose sort of foundation model and then you trained it up on not just you, but every interviewer you could find doing interviews like this, but especially you, you would probably get to be quite good at doing your job, but probably not as good as you for a while.
Okay. So there's a few areas left. And then superintelligence becomes when it's better than us at all things.
When it's much smarter than you and at almost all things it's better than you, yeah.
And you say that this might be a decade away or so.
Yeah, it might be. It might be even closer. Some people think it's even closer. It might well be much further. It might be 50 years away. That's still a possibility. It might be that somehow training on human data limits you to not being much smarter than humans. My guess is between 10 and 20 years we'll have superintelligence.
On this point of joblessness, it's something that I've been thinking a lot about in particular because I started messing around with AI agents. And we released an episode on the podcast actually this morning where we had a debate about AI agents with a CEO of a big AI agent company and a few other people. And it was the first moment where it was another moment where I had a eureka moment about what the future might look like. When I was able in the interview to tell this agent to order all of us drinks. And then 5 minutes later in the interview, you see the guy show up with the drinks and I didn't touch anything. I just told it to order us drinks to the studio.
And you didn't know about who you normally got your drinks from. It figured that out from the web.
Yeah, figured it out because it went on Uber Eats. It has my data, I guess. And we put it on the screen in real time so everyone at home could see the agent going through the internet, picking the drinks, adding a tip for the driver, putting my address in, putting my credit card details in. And then the next thing you see is the drinks show up. So that was one moment. And then the other moment was when I used a tool called Replit and I built software by just telling the agent what I wanted.
Yes, it's amazing, right?
It's amazing and terrifying at the same time.
Yes.
And
if it can build software like that, right?
Yeah.
Remember that the AI, when it's training, is using code. And if it can modify its own code, then it gets quite scary, right?
Because it can modify itself.
It can change itself in a way we can't change ourselves. We can't change our innate endowment, right? There's nothing about itself that it couldn't change.
On this point of joblessness, you have kids.
I do.
And they have kids?
No.
They don't have kids, so no grandkids yet. What would you be saying to people about their career prospects in a world of superintelligence? What should we be thinking about?
In the meantime, I'd say it's going to be a long time before it's as good at physical manipulation as us.
Okay.
And so a good bet would be to be a plumber.
Until the humanoid robots show up. In such a world where there is mass joblessness, which is not something that you just predict, but this is something that Sam Altman at OpenAI, I've heard him predict, and many of the CEOs, Elon Musk, I watched an interview which I'll play on screen of him being asked this question, and it's very rare that you see Elon Musk silent for 12 seconds or whatever it was.
Right.
And then he basically says something about he actually is living in suspended disbelief, i.e. he's basically just not thinking about it.
When you think about advising your children on a career with so much that is changing, what do you tell them is going to be of value?
Well, that is a tough question to answer.
Uh-oh, that don't sound too confident now, does it? Richest man in the world, and he like, well, what do you tell your children? And he can't give an answer? People need to be concerned about this. Look how long he paused.
I would just say, you know, to sort of follow their heart in terms of what they find interesting to do or fulfilling to do. I mean, if I think about it too.
How's that going to work if AI could draw pictures and do music? That's not, they won't be able to sustain themselves like that.
Too hard, frankly, it can be dispiriting and demotivating. Because, I mean, I go through, I've put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into building the companies, and then I'm like, wait, well, should I be doing this? Because if I'm sacrificing time with friends and family that I would prefer to but then ultimately the AI can do all these things. Does that make sense? I don't know. To some extent, I have to have deliberate suspension of disbelief in order to remain motivated. So I guess I would say just, you know, work on things that you find interesting, fulfilling, and that contribute some good to the rest of society.
Yeah, a lot of these threats, it's very hard to, intellectually you can see the threat, but it's very hard to come to terms with it emotionally.
Yeah.
I haven't come to terms with it emotionally yet.
What do you mean by that?
I haven't come to terms with what the development of superintelligence could do to my children's future. I'm okay, I'm 77. I'm going to be out of here soon. But for my children and my younger friends, my nephews and nieces, and their children, I just don't like to think about what could happen.
So what's the remedy? See, I would like to think what could happen. What's the remedy? See, he said, "Oh, I'm 70. I'm out of here." So you're gonna leave this next generation. Y'all are on your own. Y'all figure this one out. This is a maze. I trust everyone enjoyed it. I'll put the link in the chat here. I'm not gonna play all of it, but those were that beginning 10 minutes there was the most important. I felt that was the most important for people to hear, that he's the father of AI. He created this mess. Now he dipping out and leaving everybody with the problem. Okay, so the link is in the chat there. Okay, we're going to go with, oh, yes. The crowd in crisis. Amid former Prince Andrew's ties to Epstein, the British royal family is doing damage control as the latest round of Epstein files from the Justice Department further ensnares the disgraced royal in controversy. I told you all, this goes back to London. It's all connected, global. So what are the odds of this commercial issue in Edmonton involving His Majesty, then Epstein comes out, then the pictures of the brother? Let's check this out. Strike that. Let's watch and receive.
Photos of the former Prince Andrew, his alleged sharing from disturbing photos of the former Prince Andrew to his alleged sharing of government documents with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, the fallout from the Epstein files once again putting the British royal family into turmoil. Andrew has denied all wrongdoing, but the pressure is now ramping up on the royals to do and say more. From disturbing photos of the former Prince Andrew to his alleged sharing of government documents with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, the fallout from the Epstein files once again putting the British royal family into turmoil. Andrew has denied all wrongdoing, but the pressure is now ramping up on the royals to do and say more about their disgraced relative. The crown under fire.
Charles, how long have you known about Andrew and Ethnicity?
From King Charles to Prince William, shouted at in Saudi Arabia.
To what extent do you think the royal family has done enough around the Andrew and Epstein issue?
ITV also capturing Queen Camilla getting tough questions too.
Do you have a message for Epstein's victims, Your Majesty?
We've never actually seen other members of the royal family heckled to the extent that we have in the last few days.
The royal family forced to confront the fallout from former Prince Andrew's relationship with disgraced financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
These Epstein files have put so much information into the public domain, but they've also raised a lot of questions.
Fallout for the now former Prince Andrew after new images of the former royal were revealed in the latest release of Epstein files.
The royal family rocked.
I think that they're definitely rattled. It feels like they're very much on the back foot.
The British monarchy, known for keeping a stiff upper lip, facing a growing outcry to say and do more.
This is uncharted territory for the Crown. They need to be doing a forensic look at Andrew. Unlike politicians who can often blame the previous administration, that's difficult for Charles. He can't undermine his late mother's legacy, but he does need to protect the institution.
Among the millions of pages recently released by the Justice Department related to Epstein, these photos, undated and lacking context, of King Charles's younger brother crouched over a young woman. Andrew has always denied any wrongdoing. Emails also appear to show Andrew sharing government documents with Epstein from a 2010 tour of Southeast Asia while serving as Britain's trade envoy. Thames Valley Police saying they are assessing the information. Now Buckingham Palace weighing in, a spokesperson for King Charles telling ABC News in part, while the specific claims in question are for Mr. Mountbatten Windsor to address, if we are approached by Thames Valley Police, we will stand ready to support them as you would expect.
All of your money is flowing through someone else's bank right now. If you think about all of your income sources, if you think about all...
Well, it was an extraordinary statement from Buckingham Palace, the King's profound. Extraordinary statement.
We'll stand ready to support them as you would expect.
Notice they're calling Mr. Mountbatten Windsor. They're calling him all, right? Mountbatten Windsor. Why not King Charles? Right? While the specific, let's look at this real quickly. While this is from Buckingham Palace. While the specific claims in question are for Mr. Mountbatten Windsor to address, if we are approached by Thames Valley Police, we stand ready to support them as you would expect, spokesperson for King Charles III. So they call it Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. They call him all Mountbatten Windsor. They forgot the last few, Saxe, Coburg, Gotha. Go ahead, Edom Duba. Yeah, unmute your mic.
All right. So now they ain't calling him king because of what you got in place as far as claims, and they already know what's been going on with Elizabeth. Yeah, they all batting birds. They got rid of their German name. So that's really all I had to say.
Towel hat. So see, on this side, as they say, the pond. So again, this all came out when I said they're running a child trafficking ring here in the city of Edmonton, province of Alberta, the country of Canada. That's when the Epstein tapes, everything they said the government, because remember, Trump and them said, he's nobody, it don't matter, forget about it.
Yeah, he downplayed the whole relationship.
Now, all of a sudden, right after I did episode 30, that Monday, the U.S. government is releasing everything. Then when they said, well, it's all redacted, and people are saying, oh, really? All I got to do is
I seen the guy highlighting and put it in a notebook, and the redaction was gone. They were able to highlight it and just transfer it to a different notebook, and it came all clear.
And it proves what the father of AI in that interview on YouTube I just played prior to this said, is that there's more technology, computers are going to be more involved. And a lot of the people who work in these courts, they're not tech savvy like that. They know how to enter data. They know how to retrieve data. They don't know about code. They don't know about copy and paste. They don't know about none of that stuff. So when they said, "Oh, we'll just put it in, cover it over, black it out, darken it out, put it in PDF, save it." No, they said, "No, you just have to highlight that, put that in another thing, and it's still there." So now people are going through the raw files that are redacted, and they're unredacting and releasing those redacted pages, unredacted pages, so people can see the data. And this goes back to what I said years ago. There is no privacy. There's none. So people better get used to walking and visualizing or feeling or sensing eyes are watching them. What was that song by Hall & Oates? Private Eyes? Watching you. I forget the word, checking your every move or watching your every move. Private eyes watching you, watching you, watching you. Get used to it. It ain't changing.
Well, it was an extraordinary statement from Buckingham Palace, the King's profound concern. He wanted to be seen on the side of the law, so he stated he would support the police if they chose to question Andrew Mountbatten Windsor.
I'm stopping it. See what the woman said? He wanted to be seen on the side of the law. Optics. He wanted to be seen on the side of the law. So if he wanted to be seen, he wanted it to be known he is on the side of the law. Everyone hear what I just said? She just said he wanted to be seen on the side of the law, not the Charles is with the law or on the side of the law. He just wanted to be seen that he's on the side of the law. Big difference.
Person for Prince William and Princess Catherine, saying they're deeply concerned by the continuing revelations and that their thoughts remain with the victims.
Individual members of the royal family, when they're asked about this, they're very quick to say our thoughts are with the victims. But if you look at what the victims are saying and what the victims want accountability.
Prince Edward, the Duke of Edinburgh, welcome.
Only one royal has actually spoken when asked about the controversy, the King and Andrew's youngest brother, Prince Edward, speaking at the World Government Summit.
I think it's all really important always to remember the victims and who are the victims in all this.
Absolutely.
A lot of victims in this.
And now,
see, when they say remember the victims, that is a passive statement. How could we help the victims? Is everybody hearing what I'm saying? We must remember. But when you say remember, that's the past. No one's saying, what can we do for the victims now? See, that's why I don't care what anybody says. I've proven this. When you get that etymology of the English language, you can comprehend and see through the double speak. We must remember the victims. We must remember them. That's like going to a cemetery. Oh, I got to remember somebody that passed away. Anybody can do that. What are you doing for the victims? That's the million-dollar question. So if all they're going to say is we must remember the victims, so what? You remember them. Ain't nobody breaking out no checkbook. Aren't they put together a fund? Put together some type of compensation? Nope. They ain't doing none of that. So that's all disingenuous and fraudulent coming from the Saxe, Coburg, Windsor, Mountbatten, Battenberg, what do they call them? Saxe, Coburg, Windsor. That's all disingenuous. It's just saying words for people to believe the words, but don't give them nothing to say here. You can count on this. This is what's going to happen now in terms of a positive outcome. Let's see what we got here. Aferti, Pat Bondi is doing nothing for the victims here. Listen, if Israel tells them not to, they can't. Oh, did I say something? Let me say it again in case somebody missed what I said. If Israel says no and tells the U.S. or Trump, you can't do nothing for the victims because it's going to connect to, what's his name, Epstein, who is a Mossad agent, which will implicate Israel. And then you'll have all the other countries around the world saying, hey, Israel participated in trafficking, which they are, and organs, which they are. Now that you can't walk that back, you can't ignore it. Comes a problem now. I'm trying to press play, and if you can see in the bottom left here, it's covering me pressing the volume. I done said something that ticked somebody off already. Drag to move. Okay, let's move it.
A new alleged victim coming forward, reportedly claiming that she too was trafficked to Andrew by Epstein. Her attorney telling the BBC the encounter allegedly occurred at the former prince's residence, Royal Lodge, in 2010. The woman was in her 20s at the time. ABC News reached out to Andrew, but he did not respond. And it's not just the royal family. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer is also facing backlash for having appointed Peter Mandelson as ambassador to the U.S., despite his alleged ties to Epstein.
Keir Starmer has apologised. He's apologised directly to Epstein's victims. Now, he's apologised as a result of the fact that he chose to employ Mandelson.
In his resignation, Mandelson said he felt regretful and sorry for having been linked to Epstein. It's been a dramatic fall from grace for the once beloved son of Queen Elizabeth.
This probably does impact to an extent Elizabeth II's legacy. She had a soft spot, some would say blind spot, for Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, and Charles inherited this mess.
In October of last year, the king stripping his brother of his remaining royal titles and evicting him and his ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson, from their 30-room home at Royal Lodge. Ferguson, once known simply as Fergie, became a media darling in the 1980s when she became Andrew's girlfriend.
By now, we all know who she is. Sarah Ferguson, age 26, upbringing impeccable, social connections excellent.
Their marriage capturing the world's attention.
I want to be a good wife to you.
So too did their divorce.
The Duke and the Duchess of York, better known as Prince Andrew and Fergie, are planning a formal separation.
Andrew's dating life over the years chronicled in the tabloids, who dubbed him Randy Andy. But Ferguson continued to live at the same home as Andrew at various times over the past 30 years. Now, she too is ensnared in the Epstein controversy. According to an email in the files, Ferguson and her daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, flew to Miami to visit Epstein less than a week after he was released from prison in July 2009. Another email allegedly sent from Ferguson to Epstein writing, "Thank you, Jeffrey, for being the brother I have always wished for."
Sarah Ferguson is all over the Epstein files. Certainly will have impacted the Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie. Can't see a way that Sarah Ferguson can come back from this.
She has not commented on the recent disclosures about Epstein. More than a decade ago, she publicly stated she regretted the relationship.
And this is where Entourage has been great. Every single experience we had, we never had an issue.
For years, Andrew has been under scrutiny for his friendship with Epstein.
Prince Andrew was a frequent visitor to Jeffrey Epstein's homes, not only in Manhattan, but also on his private Caribbean island. And we know that the two traveled in similar circles.
The late Virginia Giuffre alleged that she was a victim of sex trafficking and abuse by Epstein, and long claimed that he forced her to have sex with Andrew when she was just 17. In an interview with the BBC's Panorama, Giuffre detailed her allegations against the then prince.
Galen tells me that I have to do for Andrew what I do for Jeffrey.
and that made me sick. I just didn't expect it from royalty.
Andrew has denied the allegations. He was asked about Giuffre in that 2019 BBC interview.
I can absolutely categorically tell you it never happened.
That rare television interview back.
See how he closed his eyes? He couldn't even look at it. Let's play it back for people who may have missed that
interview.
I can absolutely categorically tell you it never happened.
That rare television interview backfired spectacularly for Andrew.
She was very specific about that night. She described dancing with you and you profusely sweating, and that she went on to have bath, possibly.
There's a slight problem with the sweating because I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat, or I didn't sweat at the time.
But Giuffre said that this...
Only beings I know that can't sweat are dogs. And isn't it reptiles don't sweat? Somebody help me out here. Let's go see what... Let's see. Do reptiles sweat? Hold on, why is this not coming up? Oh, okay. Oh, that's a different, I'm in a different tab, that's why. Oh yeah, because that was fake. That's going through Microsoft. That's why. Do reptiles sweat? Reptiles do not sweat because they lack sweat glands and have dry, scaly skin designed for water retention. As ectothermic, cold-blooded animals, they regulate their body temperature behaviorally, such as basking for warmth or moving to shade to cool down, rather than through physiological cooling mechanisms like perspiration. Key facts about reptile cooling: no sweat glands. Unlike mammals, reptiles cannot sweat or pant to cool down. Behavioral thermal regulation: they move between different temperature areas to manage their body heat. Alternative methods: some reptiles, such as crocodiles, may open their mouths to release heat. A behavior sometimes referred to as sweating through their mouths. Water conservation: their scales are designed to keep them hydrated, not to release moisture. So he just told you he's a reptile. There's a problem with the sweat. You see, I'm a reptile. We don't sweat. Well, at the time, I didn't sweat. Let's see here. I'm just going to go back. Okay, so that's there. Okay, so there we go. Crowded crisis.
This now infamous photo of the two of them together backs up her account.
He knows what happened. I know what happened.
Infamous photo of the two.
Peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat, or I didn't sweat at the time.
But Giuffre said that this now infamous...
See how he looked in the camera? Straight, he looked in the camera. I don't sweat. Right? What did Diana say? She said they're not human.
Photo of the two of them together backs up her account.
He knows what happened. I know what happened. And there's only one of us telling the truth. And I know that's me.
Nobody can prove whether or not that photograph has been doctored, but I don't recollect that photograph ever being taken.
In 2022, Andrew settled a lawsuit with Giuffre for an...
That was some reverse. No one can prove that photograph was not doctored. Like what?
Photograph ever being taken. It's been doctored, but...
I know what happened. And there's only one of us telling the truth. And I know that's me.
Nobody can prove whether or not that photograph has been doctored, but I don't recollect that photograph ever.
Okay, so if they can't prove that it's been doctored, that means it's real. Don't matter what you recollect, Kodak don't lie.
Being taken.
In 2022, Andrew settled a lawsuit with Giuffre for an undisclosed sum, but denying any wrongdoing. Giuffre died by suicide in 2025, before the Epstein files were released by the Justice Department. Epstein survivors making...
And she released a dead man switch because she anticipated that was going to happen. See, they didn't, ABC News ain't talk about that. She died by suicide. What persons died by suicide if they got a settlement for a case? And you know he paid them buku dollars. Ain't nobody committing suicide when they get money like that.
Their voices heard with this PSA released on Super Bowl Sunday.
After years of being kept apart, we're standing together.
And Giuffre's family standing with lawmakers as they introduced Virginia's law, which would end the statute of limitation barriers for survivors of trafficking and abuse.
I want to begin with a single word. A word that meant everything to my sister. A word we will not stop fighting for until real justice is served. And that word is change.
Now some lawmakers are even calling for Andrew to testify before Congress.
One of the reasons that makes this so potent and so difficult for the royal family is that it's not going anywhere. I think it's going to be very difficult for them to do anything in the near future without this dominating the narrative around them.
So there we go for that one. Very deep article. Okay, this goes back to the AI. Ex-Google exec says degrees in law for all you lawyers out there. That's how we're going to do this. Degrees in law and medicine are a waste of time because they take so long to complete that AI will catch up by graduation. I think that's all I could see. I think you have, okay. Gen Z grads are struggling to land jobs, but pursuing a doctoral degree to stand out is not the answer, warns Jad Tarifi, the founder of Google's first generative AI team. Students could end up throwing away years of their lives as technology is moving so quickly. This comes as OpenAI CEO Sam Altman says ChatGPT can already perform on par with PhD-level experts, and Bill Gates admits AI is accelerating at a pace that surprises even him. As undergraduate degrees have lost their payoff thanks to AI, young people have turned to advanced schooling to unlock jobs with salaries exceeding $200,000, or in some cases, a $100 million signing bonus. However, one former Google leader says Gen Z should not be so fast to jump on the PhD train, as even doctoral degrees may have lost their edge. AI itself is going to be gone by the time you finish a PhD. Even things like applying AI to robotics will be solved by then, Jad Tarifi, the founder of Google's first generative AI team, told Business Insider. Tarifi himself graduated with a PhD in AI in 2012, when the subject was far less mainstream. But today, the millennial says time would be better spent studying a more niche topic intertwined with AI, like AI for biology, or maybe not a degree at all. There ain't gonna be no jobs like that in the future. That's what they're telling people. But the teachers got to sit there and say, the parents are going to say, get a good education, get a good job, go to school. They're going to tell them that. Meanwhile, the kids are on the cell phones. They're learning AI, and what's going to happen at the end of the day? They're going to end up wasting all that time, and the AI will complete the degree that takes them 4 years. It'll get that done in a month. Higher education as we know it is on the verge of becoming obsolete. Tarifi told Fortune, thriving in the future will come not from collecting credentials, but from cultivating unique perspectives, agency, emotional awareness, and strong human bonds. I encourage young people to focus on two things: the art of connecting deeply with others and the inner work of connecting with themselves. So you see how he was able to provide the answer that Elon Musk could not provide in the previous videos? Text warning for education in the changing AI tide. Even studying to become a medical doctor or lawyer may not be worth ambitious Gen Z's time anymore. Those degrees take so long to complete in comparison with how quickly AI is evolving that they may result in students just throwing away years of their lives, Tarifi added to Business Insider. In the current medical system, what you learn in medical school is so outdated and based on memorization, he said. Tarifi is not alone in his feeling that higher education is not keeping up with the shifting AI tides. In fact, many tech leaders have recently expressed concerns that the rising cost of school paired with an outdated curriculum is creating a perfect storm for an unprepared workforce. I'm not sure that college is preparing people for the jobs that they need to have today, said Mark Zuckerberg and Theo Vaughn's This Past Week podcast. I think that there's a big issue on that, and all the student debt issues are really big. So they know what time it is. They know what time it is. Let's go back to these articles. Let's see what's this one here.
The IRL in Antarctica, boys.
Oh, this is good.
The IRL in Antarctica, boys.
So this guy was on a cruise to Antarctica when he decided to take his Starlink and live stream him on the shore of Antarctica. Shortly after he gets back on the cruise ship, he gets called to the captain's office. And this is what the captain had to say.
IRL in Antarctica.
Hello. How's it going? Not that good. So you have a Starlink? Yeah. Okay, it's confiscated. You will receive it on the way back. You can't use it on the land? Say it? You can't use it on the land? No. Okay. They checked it in biosecurity yesterday and they didn't have a problem really going on, but you're the captain, so it's all yours. Okay. You will receive it in the end of the trip, okay? Okay, cool. It's not such devices, they're not anything that is related to the internet connection, cybersecurity is completely forbidden. Really? So no one's allowed to have a Starlink? Nope. Not even a single piece of internet. Really? On land? That is not secure. No. Is that for like all of it? I'm just asking questions. I'm not arguing with you. For all of Antarctica? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. For all, it's available for all ships. It's not only this ship, all the ships around. And especially this one, we have cybersecurity. We have policies to follow. Unfortunately, we cannot let you. Right, bring it on land. Yeah. And that's for every ship in Antarctica? Yeah, for everybody. Okay. But our procedures, they are very strict, and such devices, they are not allowed, unfortunately. Yeah, no. That's fine. Thank you for informing us. I apologize if there was any issue. I just didn't. I didn't see any problem with it, like online when I was researching and stuff. But you're the captain. Okay. Thank you so much. Sorry for taking you away from your station. I apologize. Thank you for the understanding. Yeah, no problem.
What do you think? Do they have something to hide?
The IRL in Antarctica, boys.
So this guy was on a cruise to Antarctica when he decided to take his Starlink and live stream him on the shore of Antarctica. Shortly after he gets back on the cruise ship, he gets called to the captain's office. And this is what the captain had to say.
So the beings that are there don't want nobody, the ones down, don't want nobody knowing what's going on. So those beings there don't want nobody streaming from Antarctica. Let's see here. So that was that one. Okay.
Why is she frozen?
Okay, we're not going to do all of this because this is like 30 minutes, but I'll give it to you so you all could get some clips of real life glitches caught on TV.
Controlled people and unexplainable real-life events.
Why is she frozen?
From bizarre incidents to some jaw-dropping moments that cannot be explained.
I was a little down when I found out I was injured. And I had to...
Here we have for you some of the scariest glitches and eerie encounters that were caught on camera.
What's going on? Why are they standing still?
Have the reptilians taken over the Vatican? If there's one person on Earth we thought we could trust, it'd be the Pope. But now we're seeing something that's raising a lot of questions. Here, the Pope is evidently trying to scratch his nose, but ends up accidentally tugging on a silicone-like mask. This is all the proof people needed. Even if we assume this is just the Pope's skin, you can't say he's human. Nobody's skin literally snaps back like that. But if we have lizards running the world, it explains everything. Live broadcast. A former minister of Chile was caught shape-shifting during an interview as she was struggling to stay up straight. But what really freaked people out was this. It was her eyes changing shape, and pupils looked exactly like that of a lizard. The resemblance was uncanny, and that freaked a lot of the people out. Not only in South America, but the same was seen in the United States, when this reptilian of the administration was caught trying to blend in with its environment. She, or it, was acting nervously and tried to mimic what actual humans were trying to do. Barbara Bush. She was urging people to vote for her husband, George Bush, for president. But viewers noticed something creepy about her. Her eyes were strangely fixated, and her head movements were unnatural. People also noticed that she rarely blinked throughout this message, and the crazy in her eyes was quite unsettling. And she was never seen doing anything like this again, which made people even more suspicious of powerful forces controlling politicians to control the people.
Single morning, we all awaken to a safer, freer world.
Woman glitching.
Why is she frozen?
Is this woman lagging in real life? On the streets of London, a woman was frozen in time. Her eerie posture has baffled everyone around the globe. She was stuck 1 second and the next, completely fine. She didn't even react to it at all, as if she didn't even notice anything out of place.
Bob, I'm tripping. What the fuck?
Mark Zuckerberg. He has repeatedly been noticed acting suspiciously, moving in bizarre ways, mumbling even creepier words. So much so that people are genuinely starting to question his identity. They believe he's actually a reptilian creature hiding behind the mask of a human. These aren't baseless assumptions. On numerous occasions, Zuckerberg was spotted behaving erratically, as if he was still trying to learn the ways of us humans. Then, he slipped up during a TED Talk and tried to counter the accusations. But don't convince me that's how a normal person talks. You and I both know Zuckerberg's acting really suspiciously.
Are the allegations true that you are secretly a lizard?
The game. While attending a basketball game, former player and now pundit Jalen Rose was recorded on camera, being freakishly still and hypnotized. He made no movements whatsoever, and looking at his eyes, it doesn't look like he was watching the match at all. Seemingly for no reason, Shaq was also caught doing the same thing for well over a minute, making people believe athletes are also just puppets. Bill Clinton. In an unnerving clip, the former U.S. president looks paralyzed, or more accurately, hypnotized. His face is expressionless, something like a puppet. He was stuck in a trance, looking eerily pale and lifeless. Even more mysteriously, this was off air during the Bush-Clinton presidential campaign, and he is nothing more than a puppet for the masters that placed him in the White House. German comedian. No, that was not a technical issue, and no, it was also not a camera effect. She was caught shapeshifting during one of her shows. You can clearly make out what her eyes do, and even from the actual uploaded video at that time, shows this reptilian failing to contain her true self. She is a German comedian by the name Caroline Quebecus, and you can find the real video on her channel as well. However, suspiciously, that video has this part removed from the video, and those that saw it, Air managed to capture the change before being removed. Floating leaf. A group of friends wandering through the woods saw this mysterious leaf floating mid-air without any support. As you can clearly see that it was not held by any branch or twig. And adding more fuel to the mystery, the leaf continuously spun into the air, making it a lot more mystifying. The people who captured it have described it as a glitch in a matrix. And well, the peculiar footage seems to have all the necessary ingredients that we can for sure call it a creepy glitch in nature.
Прямо посреди дороги.
Poltergeist caught. Now this is some real poltergeist stuff here. The CCTV footage shows a man sitting in a bar when suddenly his glass of beer gets knocked out by someone or something. Everybody gets stunned by this unusual sight. Let's rewind it here. You can clearly see that the glass moved on its own, fell down, and spilled all the beer on the floor. In this other footage too, a pint glass mysteriously smashes into little pieces. Now, this one too seems like a supernatural intervention. Frozen in field. If you thought that the previous entry was eerie, have a look at this one. The footage was captured by a man from his bedroom window, where you can see a flock of more than hundreds of sheep standing completely still in the field. While some passed it as a glitch in the Matrix, others investigated the origins, claiming that this happens when the sheep hear a wolf's voice, and as a defensive mechanism, they do this. Don't know about anything else, but if it's true, they sure are spooky and clever as heck. Invisible transportation. Am I freaking out, or is this woman riding an invisible bicycle? Before you say it's an illusion, look beneath her. There's only her shadow. What's more bizarre is that no one seems to pay any attention to her. And why would they? Even you failed to notice it. Okay, that is seriously chilling and pretty weird. Draymond Green.
I was a little down. I found out I was injured and I had to...
A basketball player randomly freezing on live TV is perhaps the best example of mind control, or more accurately put, MK Ultra. During a post-game interview for the NBA playoffs, Green suddenly lost all control of his emotions. It was so chilling to look at, as if he had been stuck in time. He remained still for a couple of seconds, as if he had just seen a ghost, or worse. His entire face looked so eerie. He only got back to normal when he heard his teammates say his name.
You know, guys like Draymond, everybody on this team, they come over there, they wrap their hands.
Plane glitching midair. A man driving on the highway saw this extremely bizarre sight of an airplane hovering in midair near Dallas Airport in March 2018. It appears pretty motionless. Obviously, airplanes can't just hover where they are in the sky. That defies the laws of science. So what on earth is going on here? Another footage from September 2009 shows a busy road with cars passing through, but a plane can be seen floating up in the air. Everything else seems to be moving, but the airplane is stuck in its position. Such a big vehicle, frozen like this. If this isn't creepy, then what is?
So I'll put that link here, so everybody will get that. Fairty, that's a dude, yep. Fergie and daughters. Fergie and daughters are ugly as mother chuckers, yep. Now we move on to our next story here.
Wants everyone in Epstein is talking about he wants everyone in the world to have his DNA. He didn't say I want every woman in the world to have my baby. He said I want everyone in the world to have my DNA. And he's working with and communicating with the people that are making the RNA, and he's talking about utilizing that as a delivery system with some of his own DNA. It's quite possible, after me reading that everyone that has gotten that Jabberwowski is walking around with Epstein's DNA in their body. If he was successful, there are millions of people walking around with some of his genetic code inside of them so that he can live on forever through everyone else. This is narcissism 10x. Epstein.
There you go. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, here's the Epstein files redacted. Oh, they can't see. You have to sit on App's lap. No, no, I'm showing the video right now, so you have to. Hold on. You have to say, Spoony, come on this side.
Redacted. Watch this. I'm going to show y'all how to get the redacted Epstein files unredacted. Watch this. All right, y'all watch this. I'm on the Epstein files, right? I'm going to show y'all some of these little redactions or whatever, okay? So this one right here, we're going to go to page 19. 19. Now, y'all see this right here, right? Look, I'm going to, since it's redacted, we can't read it, right? So I'm going to highlight a lot of this. And then I'm going to just simply copy it. Let me drop this over here on my little notepad. Now I'm going to paste the stuff into my notepad. And let's see what happens. Oh, look at there. Indike signed a foundation check. Look, 2000 Indike blank. And then the next word goes to these payments. Look, these payments. So all this right here was what was redacted. Now let's see. Foundation check made payable to the immigration lawyer in New York who was involved in one or more forced marriages arranged among Epstein's victims. To secure a victim's immigration status, the check memo line, yada, yada, yada. All these are like this, y'all. Look, I can go through anywhere on here that's redacted. I can copy and paste it here. Now the question is why? So let's pick out a couple more, okay? Let's see, blank payroll was paid to 2 persons. Okay, I want to know what payroll that is, don't y'all? So let's copy and paste this one. Boom, let's see, get you on down right there. All right, paste. What? 1111? What the heck? No, I'm sorry. JSCs. Whatever the heck JSCs is, okay? But see, then it says the JSC right there. So let's see. All right, here we go. Indike made wire transfers from another Epstein's personal accounts with a different banking total among blank just before Epstein's arrest too, and it just tells when. But let's just see. I just would like to see what exactly, because the main thing is we got to find out why they were doing this with a lot of these. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was the reason? Okay, Indike made wire transfers from another person of Epstein's personal accounts with a different bank totaling $50,000 between November 2016 to July 2019. That's only 50 to women with Eastern European surnames, including one known to have recruited young women and girls for Epstein. This is just absolutely sickening, y'all. I mean, it really and truly is. You know, like, when's enough going to be enough? Let's see what else we got. Let's see here. Anything else? So I've also heard that you can't, okay, look, blank, which did not even pretend to perform. Oh yeah, this is going to be good right here. Let's see what this is. Boom. Bring that on down. There we go. Dang, I'm fast, boy. All right. So paid employee of Southern Trust Company. Paid employee of Southern Trust Company. That's what they redact. Like, why? That's right here. Look, paid employee, paid employee. This is where we're at right here, y'all. I don't know, man. Not really sure about all this, but what do y'all think about this, man? Y'all let me know in the comments. I'm going to show y'all how to get the redacted Epstein files unredacted. Watch this. All right, y'all watch.
So there's people doing it. They're going to check. That's funny. They're going to check. All right, so let's see this next. Oh, this is a good one.
Because how is it legal when
Legalized kidnapping is the term that I keep coming across.
and people say, yeah, it's legal kidnapping, but I don't even call it legal because how is it legal when they're not even following their law? If they're breaching laws, then that's illegal. If they're abusing their powers, that's illegal. If they're committing fraud, that's illegal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
fraud, perjury, all of the above.
Yeah.
Legalized
Kidnapping. This is what family courts are exactly that. I can confirm that. But I dare say we raised that higher, not just only that is genocide. Can you say genocide?
Genocide.
Can you say apartheid?
Apartheid.
Can you say crimes against humanity?
Humanity.
Can you say indigenous rights violations? Indigenous rights violations.
Okay.
Hold on. Let's see. Is that one here?
I can't see the remote for downstairs.
Here, hold on. Let's play this. Let me see if this is a longer one. Just hold on a second. That's Mooney.
Something didn't happen. That's why you can't prove that something didn't happen. That's why false domestic violence cases can feel impossible. So we don't try to prove that nothing happened. We look for at least one lie that is too big to possibly be a mistake. Because once you prove that someone lied about a major thing, the question changes from why would she lie to why should we believe anything that she is saying. You can't prove that something didn't happen. That's why false domestic violence cases can feel impossible. So we don't try to prove that nothing happened. We look for at least one lie that is too big to possibly be a mistake. Because once you prove that someone lied about a major thing, the question changes from why would she lie to why should we believe anything that she is saying.
So, why should we believe anything that Nicole says? Why should we? Lied on that police report September 4th, 2025. Gave a false name on a police report. We know what you did, Nicole. We know what you did last summer. So we can't there you can't believe nothing Nicole says. And to support that, we're gonna do this here real quick. Okay, no problem. All right, yeah, they sit right. So this is what I'm gonna show here to everyone. Okay. Oh, hold on. Did everyone see that video? Okay, I didn't have the screen shared. Okay, we'll play it again.
Where's the cat?
You can't prove that something didn't happen. That's why false domestic violence cases can feel impossible. So we don't try to prove that nothing happened. We look for at least one lie that is too big to possibly be a mistake. Because once you prove that someone lied about a major thing, the question changes from why would she lie to why should we believe anything that she is saying? You can't prove that something didn't happen. That's
So, yes, why would you lie, Nicole, and give a false name on a police report? Why would you do that? So now you can't believe nothing she says. Nothing. And here's the proof of that. We're going to go to yesterday's Facebook Live when I picked the children up.
Let's try that again.
Yes.
Ready?
No, we're not going to try touching my phone again. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do this. Okay, this we go. So we're gonna get up to the main part. Let's see here. Where is? I walked into the McDonald's on 22nd Avenue. Yep, we got to throw the towel
It's on now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. That's the car. Oh, there she is. That's the car. Doesn't look like an Uber or the other one, Lyft. See, she was already in the car by the time I walked up. Shh. Hold on. Listen. We'll listen in a second. I got to explain that because not everybody understands. The whom? At Zoom. So the children, as you can see, are already out. She ain't hand them off to me. This is that child endangerment that you all are talking about. They could have walked off. They could have went anywhere. And the point of the matter is, why would you not let me get the children? She hopped in the car. You know why? I'll explain why. Hold on. I need to explain this. You're going to be quiet or do you have to go downstairs?
Be quiet.
Towel hat. So what happened is this. I ended up finding out that 7 days ago, the children are at a different school called Pollard Meadows. Now, I only found this out from Nicole's lawyer. I think it was that Friday or the following Monday. This was after they have been there for over a month. Let me see here. I'll switch the screen over at everybody so they can see. And I I emailed Kevin regarding that. Let's see here. Okay, so this is the email. Okay, that was a day ago. No, you said you're going to sit and stay quiet. So sit and stay quiet. You're going to get to participate. You know that, right?
Yeah.
At Zoom. So February 10th. Okay, February 7th. Hold on, roll the, what is it? Roll the tape. Okay, so he's got, her lawyer's got roll the tape, this video. So everyone who knows roll the tape, send it straight to her lawyer. So he's got it. That's why you can't trust nothing that she says. She says one thing and then she does another thing. Okay, this is it. Okay, so this was, that was Miriam. And then, where is it here? Nope, this isn't it. Excuse me. Oh, you want to go? You can go down.
I want to sit here.
Oh, you want to sit on this side? Okay, you sit on this side.
So I can see.
No, yeah, so you can see. You think you think you slick. You want to sit on this side so you can touch my phone. Now that I moved the phone on this side, you want to sit on my left side again. You think you smart. You think you slick, don't you? Uh-huh. Okay, child endangerment.
Can you
Hold on.
hands to yourself on your
Hands to yourself.
foot?
Hands to yourself. Okay, November 28th, attention, hold on. Confirmation of your guilt. I think this is the one here. January 31st. Charterize. And that's it.
I'll be quiet.
Okay, PPSA lien. Okay, yeah, this is after I asked for proof of insurance on January 31st. Mooney, you're gonna sit still. Towel hat.
I wants to keep his hands to himself right here.
No, I'm gonna, because you're just gonna move all over the place. Let's see. That's why I don't like what's going on with Google, because it just scrambles. Let me go to start. It'll probably come up better if I do it start. Because I put that to his attention. Let me see here. Cindy McDonald.
McDonald's.
Yes, I served her yesterday.
Can we watch that video?
1 second, hold on. Julie Sproul. Yeah, because he responded, he emailed me and I responded. Yeah, this is where he told me that, listen, are you gonna sit?
Yeah.
Okay, then sit. Okay, so, okay, this is the child endangerment. That was February 13th. And so, February 13th, so it's gotta be February 8th, 7, roll the tape. 6, no. واحد زائد وأنت درجات فهم؟ مدهن توها. Let's see, that's the U.S. consulate. Cindy McDonald, Miriam. Miriam still hasn't responded to the email said you guys are running a child trafficking and they ain't said nothing. That's Edmonton Public School Board. See, and this is on starred. Let me try sent. Let me see if it'll come up there. Because I made it a point to put attention. This is the subpoena. Oh yeah, because he sent me, where is it here? Please see the attached letter. So where's the letter from Kevin? Yeah, see now the letter's gone. See, these guys be tripping, man. The letter is okay, that's good. The Mooney, tap darajat, asub. So if you can't sit still, that's it. I'm keeping my hands to myself. That's no, because all you're gonna want to do is go play with my cell phone. That's it. Pardon. To yeah, we'll watch flower videos afterward. So which one? Because he sent me the letter. Oh man, I'm telling you, they know that I'm smacking them out here. Oh, you know what? Roxanne. Yeah, because she's the one that sent it. So that'll pop up. There we go. Here it is. So here's the letter. I know a few of y'all are going to be very upset about this, but this is the game they play. And it's so funny they're doing this. And in 5 years, most of these lawyers ain't going to have a job with the AI coming up. So February 5th, 2026. This is from Kevin. Nicole, and of course, he must have rushed to write this because he already didn't spell her name correctly, does not want to provide you with her current residential address. That's a violation of parental rights. There's no emergency protection order. So I need to know where the children are staying at, where she's staying at. Since she says the car is broken and it can't be fixed, then I need to know where they're at, as she is concerned that you will engage in stalking behaviors. Kevin, I'm going to tell you this right now. This is a spiritual war. Ain't nobody touching Nicole. She's cursed. She's marked like Cain. Nobody's touching her. Nobody. Ain't nobody trying to get no sevenfold curse on her. She's marked like Cain from the Bible, where God put a swastika on the forehead of Cain, which they call it a swastika, but it's a swastika, but there's a difference. It's the Haken Cruz, because the Haken Cruz sits on the point. The swastika, that goes back to Far East, and that was a symbol of good luck. Nicole's marked, Kevin. Ain't nobody got to stalk her. She's marked. When she said fuck Nuwabu, that's when the ancestors of ancient Tamaray, Egypt, said, oh, it's like that? Okay, no problem. We got this from here. That's the spiritual realm. You lawyers don't know nothing about that. However, the children are now registered at Pollard Meadows School and started attending there on January 9th, 2026. Now, what's the date of this letter? February 5th. So that's over a month they've been going there, and you guys ain't telling me? There's PASS, which is parenting after separation, and parenting after separation high conflict. You as her lawyer aren't telling me this for over 30 days. That's harboring, that's kidnapping, that's child trafficking. So thank you for this letter, especially Gavin Roxanne, to send it, because now when I say trafficking, child trafficking ring in Edmonton, that includes you, Roxanne, that includes anybody connected to this. The principals, because I served them, a confirmation letter from the school dated January 14th is attached. So why did it take 5 days for the confirmation letter? No, that's not a registration. This is another fraud document. When the children are not in school, Nicole provides the care and supervision. Doesn't matter. That's not part of the agreement. That's not what co-parenting is about. With respect to your request for an overnight bag, there's no need for Nicole to send one with the children because you have most of the children's clothing, etc. No, I don't, and that's irrelevant. Please note that Nicole has followed up with Tevi Miller School. She has been told that Empress may return there in September to begin the school year. Again, violating my parental rights. We're supposed to be co-parenting. But as you said so eloquently in April of last year, Nicole, this ain't a partnership. Yes, I'm telling the whole world. Yes, I'm telling the entire planet. I want to see what these Edmonton public officials, you can't spin this. This is kidnapping. This is child abduction. This is harboring. That's what this is. State sponsored. And for those of you that don't know, when I asked for a wellness check on my children on September 8th, the officer went and said, the children are with their mother. They're fine. Now, she was already in Calgary. When I asked for that follow-up for the check, because I told the school bus driver at Tevi Miller, if you don't pick my daughter up on the 8th of September, I'm calling the police and filing a kidnapping, complaint, filing all of that missing persons report. So the officer went and checked and said they're with their mother, they're fine, all of this. He called me on a private phone. So like I said, Edmonton police, they could tap my cell phone all day long. It's their fingerprints. Your fingerprints, everyone see your fingerprints is all over this. That officer told me when he said they're fine, they're with their mother, they're doing all right. I said, oh, so I guess this is essentially a state-sponsored kidnapping. I said, so this is a state-sponsored kidnapping then? And he said, essentially. So EPS, you ain't getting out of this. Edmonton Police Services, you don't get away. You don't walk away from this. When that officer told me they're with their mother, she was in Calgary because she admitted to the Calgary police she was there on September 6th, which was a Saturday. The Monday, I asked for a wellness check thinking she's still in Edmonton, but she's in where? Calgary, using my cell phone to phone the police and do 911 calls. In contrary, going against no contact, direct or indirect. The school, Tevi Miller, is assessing to see if Majesty will also be able to attend in the fall. Now, all of them is in trouble because I served the principal. What's her name? Sarah Laura Mason. She got served. I served her. So she got to come to court on the 24th regarding the fake and false breach that Nicole initiated. And now she got to go in that box and I get to cross-examine her. Yes, because I'm the one handling the case. The only one is the lawyer who's cross-examining Nicole because it's family violence. We can't have you questioning her. No problem. But Nicole got hit with a subpoena. So the Crown messed up because after they got their application, they were supposed to serve me in a due and timely manner. And it's anywhere from 7 to 10 days. They didn't give me it till 16 days later. And I think they're mad, or they probably figured that's probably why Nicole took off. We didn't finish with the video yet. But let me get this first, and we'll go back to the video. Where are we at here? Nicole says that she is willing to pay for half of the monthly tuition fee for the school. Time out. When I tendered that in December 16th, 2025 at the Resolution Council meeting, she was like, well, let him pay for everything. I said, no, if you can buy a wig every 7 days, then you can afford to pay half for the tuition, as well as the membership fees for that. They're called society fees. So now they want to do this deal. I'm like, nah, deal's off the table. So when you see this, if you're watching this right now, Nicole, this right here, this is off the table. You're not negotiating nothing. That lien that I have on you for the $1 trillion, that ain't no joke. That I want every penny of that $1 trillion. Every penny. That's filed on a PPSA. Your lawyer is aware, and I published it in episode 30. So ain't nobody getting around that. This is kidnapping. This is what they call a 60s scoop. Nicole don't have no order. She has to have consent from me. I don't have to have an order. This is in the Canada Criminal Code. So that's when I said, okay, I started putting everything together. I said, oh, this is a child trafficking ring. Because the school of record is Abbott. I conditionally accept that for the purposes of negotiation. But the reality is I registered the children at both those schools. So, what's her name? Laura, not Laura, what's her name? The principal, Sandra Laura Mason at Tevi, the principal at Tevi Miller, who I served, and I have an appeal against her with the Edmonton Public School Board, which is going forward. The day I went and served her was the day she got that information about the appeal going forward. So she's been talking with Nicole. There's no protection order. That principal at Tevi Miller is supposed to be saying, well, I need to have the father's input. And she didn't do that. So when I came and I served her, X-Man was on the phone with me when I served her. She got that, and it's filed into the case. So the Crown can see I'm bringing that principal, the principal up the street here at Kehewan, Tim, he froze. See how they were talking how the lambs fell when they smell a wolf? He was like that after I gave him the subpoena. He couldn't move. I told you all. You all thought I was the one. You thought I was easy. Oh, you guys got way too much to lose because your own law is going to bury you because you don't honor it. And now other people, other men, other people who are having problems, they're going to see what I'm doing and they're going to emulate it. The computer intelligence, we know it's going to do that because it's already blackmailing CEOs at companies to prevent it from being shut off. So why is it when I sit here, let's go 50-50 back in December 16th, that meant Empress could have been going to Tevi Miller School now. Instead, you both say no because I said I don't have no guarantees. I said I don't trust her and I don't trust Kevin Livingstone, the lawyer. What guarantees do I have that they're going to honor that? Because again, the judge told her the children live in Edmonton. That's on the record. You live in Calgary, and I thank Sergeant Todd, wherever you're at. Much appreciated for that conversation we had. It was wonderful. You confessed that Nicole broke the family law, and you, EPS, aided and abetted that because she changed her driver's license to Calgary. He don't know that the Justice Kiss at the Edmonton Law Courts told Nicole to her face, you can't do that. And then the day after Nicole registers a car in Calgary, now that he confirmed she changed her licenses Calgary, I said it's too late. She lost her wallet on December 5th at the Canadian Tire, and these guys show up at my house like, we're looking for Nicole. She doesn't live here anymore. Well, we have her wallet. So everyone said, oh, that was the ancestors brought her wallet to me. They give it to her on Sunday. Here's your wallet. Then, oh, wow. So she drove the car knowing she didn't have her wallet, didn't have the driver's license. That was the ancestors showing she's still using your address. That was December 5th. I got a letter here. Hold on. I'm going to show y'all. Oh, yeah. Everybody gets blazed. Everybody comes into the sunlight. Everybody comes into the sunlight. Where is it here? I just saw it. Where is it here? Oh yeah, they think this is a joke. I got a letter from Scotia Bank because that's the bank she banks with. Bank of Nova Scotia. We call it Scotia Bank now. And I got the letter. I just want to show the envelope so everyone can see. There we go. Right? So here's the envelope from Scotia Bank. Right? This is the envelope. So what's the postmark on this? February 9th. Okay. And it's not no wavy line coming to it. So this is bank fraud. There's no wavy line. So I asked them, is she still using my address? And here's what their response was. This is Scotia Bank. They said, we are willing to advise on the results of our investigation into the complaint filed by you with Scotiabank on February 3rd. Related to agreement, Scotia appreciates your business and takes your complaint seriously. I don't bank with them. Our investigation included a review of the information you provided at the time of the complaint, as well as available supporting documentation. Based on our detailed review, we have concluded that Scotiabank's actions were in line with its commitments and obligations. So the translation is, we were still banking with her using your address, which is mail fraud, banking fraud. As such, your case is now closed. It don't matter, Scotiabank. We already know she was using my bank or my address, and they got the picture with my address on her driver's license. So this is what people are going to start doing. People don't have any confidence in public officials. PHPPP. That's what they are. Pimps, hoes, prostitutes, pirates, and pedophiles. Are you willing to pay the other half? She understands that the school bus would not be able to attend at 2 different addresses, so one option would be for you to pick up the children directly from school. So that's what they sent me. And he signed this one. Or she signed on his behalf. Either or, don't matter. So now, this is the letter. This is another fraud letter. This letter serves as verification of registration for Empress Ale and Majesty at Pollard Meadows. Now, this is January 14th. I didn't get this till, what was the date here on this email? February 5th. And he's alleging, and that's what I'm saying, because I don't believe nothing he says. He's alleging that they were in school as of the, what was he? He said the 4th? What did this guy say? Because these guys be saying stuff. Okay, so January 9th. So they started attending on the 9th. Both students began attending Pollard Meadows School on January 9th. According to our records, Empress Ale and Majesty Ale reside with their mother, Nicole Nicholas. What records do you have? You haven't spoken with the father. Your records mean nothing. If you require any further information, please do not hesitate to contact the school. Celine Vandermeer, administrative assistant. Good. So now, when I went and I served the principal, and if I knew, well, I knew I wasn't even concerned with her. I went straight to the principal. So if the principal said this is what she was told by this woman, she gonna tell about her in the box. Because this principal here, I went straight to her. So if I got some time, I might go and still hit the administrative assistant with a subpoena. So this is the kidnapping. Over a month, you don't tell me. Nah, you guys is running a child trafficking ring in here in Edmonton. That's what you're doing. Child trafficking ring. Anybody could see this plain as day. This is what these Satanists, Luciferians, these covens, that's what they do. So now they got caught. So she got served. Maureen Matthews at Norwood got served. Right here, I want to show you all something. Right, this is fresh. So if Nicole's watching, yes, I'm telling everybody. Tomorrow, Monday is what's called Family Day up here. So it's a long weekend. So I said, hey, since it's Family Day, why don't I have the children for Monday and bring them back on Monday? This is what Nicole said. She says, no, I will follow the order for Sunday 4 p.m. exchange at McDonald's. So I said December 19th to the 28th, I had the children for 9 days outside Justice Kiss order. You didn't follow that. You and Kevin changed the order. Despite your not having a parenting order, and you still don't have one. Then I said, reminder, pass and pass high conflict. We are supposed to co-parent. You do not make unilateral decisions on your own. Neither does Kevin make unilateral decisions about our children. All Indigenous rights reserved. Do you want to see the big camera?
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going to put the big camera on so everybody can see it. This is a text message she sent when we started almost 2 hours ago.
Why I'm so dark?
Because you're dark, because of lighting.
Now.
So this is it. So you all now can see. If you can't, I'll actually, you know what? I'll do a screenshot here. Where is it?
I mean, look. Can you write roomy?
Roomy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what's all this this game you playing?
I was playing.
No, not you. You're not playing no game. Let's see here. White Autochthon News Network. Come on now. There we go. All right, so if you're on White Autochthon News Network, you see the screenshot there. So if she's going to say, oh, I'm going to follow the order, I said, no, you guys said because it's holidays, 9 days. I'm saying just give me 1 extra day because Monday's a holiday. Now you're saying, no, I'm going to follow the order. Is that or is that not a contradiction? If so, please put it in the chat. Let's get these witnesses letting Nicole know. Let's see. Let's see.
Okay.
Nicole said she was running from a cult. Lies. Kevin, Aferti. Kevin is doing and believing everything she says because he's sloppy and not fit to be a lawyer. Yuhu L, kidnapping, child trafficking ring. Michael Guadalupe, Michael Clayton. They're effed. Anna Kaona, Tua. So how is one day gonna be a problem? So I just reminded her I had them for 9 days. This is just one day. It's called Family Day. And you're telling me, no, we're going to follow the order. So who gave you all the permission to amend the order of Justice Kiss by saying I could have the children for 9 days during the Xmas season? See what I'm saying? This is game. If you're going to say we're going to follow it, then follow it. So let's come to an agreement. So she's not agreeing. Ain't no problem. Now everybody can see her contradiction. This is the whole point. So now let's get back to the video. So again, she's in the car. I'm coming around the corner. She's already in the car. Because she knew I was going to question her on, you knew the children have been going to that school for a month and no one's telling me? Nah, y'all got to get exposed. You, Kevin, Roxanne, all of you get exposed. Then you leave the children right there outside the car. You don't wait for me to cut. She was already in the car. This is this Friday. All right. Yesterday. So when are you going to... Yeah, see you later. When are you going to go... Hold on.
Hey, hey!
Hold on. Hey. No, you stop. You stop right here. I'm going to get you on camera. I want to talk to her. Stop the car. Stop the car. Oh, so you're going to take off? Yeah, you're guilty. See? Look at that. Look at that. Right? See? Now you ain't even paying attention. See how guilty they are? Ain't even watching where they're going. Get in the car. Get in the car. Oh, yeah. See that? You want to see it? Guilty. Get in the car. Get in the car. Get in the car. Yeah, he took off. Yep. Get in the car. Yep. See, the guilty, the devil runs when no one's chasing him. He took off. Yeah, they were really jacking up the connection there. I didn't know didn't seem this bad. Maybe it's just now. And for everyone to know, she didn't say she was late yesterday. Didn't give me a text message say I'm running late. She just shows up. So that means she knew I was going to question her. Maybe it was about the phone call to a landlord we ain't spoken with in 10 years. That's not what I wanted to know about. I wanted to know about why the children were at a school for over a month and you ain't tell me. That is called child trafficking, right? And this is for all these legal egos out here who talk about the law. They talk about it. That's why they are code enforcers. They follow procedure. They do not follow law. This is called Section 282 Canada Criminal Code. So we're going to go there and we'll show everybody. This is what they publish on the internet. So we go to Section 282. Everyone who, being the parent, guardian, or person having the lawful care or charge of a child under the age of 14, takes, entices away, conceals, detains. Can everyone see this? Okay, great. Detains, receives or harbors that child in contravention of a custody order, there isn't one, or a parenting order, there isn't one, made by a court anywhere in Canada with intent to deprive a parent or guardian or any other person who has the lawful care or charge of that child of the possession of that child is guilty. Okay, so this is the basic search. Here, I'm going to go to my other one. I'm going to go to the other one. I like that one better. What is that sound? Okay, what dance is it? 2. Okay, right. See, this is why these systems are falling down, because they're not following nothing. They just put it up there, give people a false sense of security, and then when they get cited, then all of a sudden they got nothing to say. Okay, so that's Can Lil, and then let's see, Canada Code. Okay, there we go. So this is the big one. I'll put this here in the chat for those that are studiously inclined. This Canada Criminal Code is similar to the United States Code. So if we go, so this is straight from their website. I like going to the source. So if we go to 282. Oh, we're at 490 already. Okay, so about here. 180. Okay. Okay, so let's speak this. Okay, you wanna speak with Ab? You wanna speak some? Hold on. You wanna sit? Okay.
What? I want to sit here.
Yeah, you can sit here on the left. Okay. Here, we're gonna do some speaking. Let's see how. Okay, let's go. Let's go here. Yeah, there's 2 flower videos. Okay, let's go here. 282. You show everyone how well you can speak. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go to 283. No, we'll start off at 282.
I drew me. RIOO.
320. Boy, it jumped up real quick.
Drew me.
Rumi, who is that? Who is that?
That was
Okay, so let's go to 282. Okay, let's speak it. Okay. Show everyone that you can see these words, okay? Okay, let me make it a little bigger for you. Okay. Can you say, okay, what's this word? Abduction.
Adoption and competition of just today.
Custody.
Custody or parting.
Parenting.
Parenting. Order.
282.
282. One. Everyone who being the parent. To what? Of
guardian.
Guardian or Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Person. Having the lawful care or charge of a child under the age of 14, takes, entices away, conceals, detains, receives, or harbors that child in contravention of a custody order or a parenting order made by a court anywhere in Canada with intent to deprive a parent or guardian or any other person who has the lawful care or charge of that child of the possession of that child is guilty of an indictable offense and is liable to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 10 years or be an offense punishable on summary conviction. That's 282. If no belief in validity or custody order or parenting order, if a count charges an offense under subsection 1 and the offense is not proven only because the accused did not believe that there was a valid custody order or parenting order, but the evidence does prove an offense under section 283, the accused may be convicted of an offense under that section. So now we got to go to 283 under abduction. Everyone who, being the parent, guardian, or person having the lawful care or charge of a child under the age of 14 years, takes, entices away, conceals, detains, receives, or harbors that child, whether or not there is an order referred to in subsection 282, paragraph 1, in respect of the child. So now because the 24th, there's a court case dealing with me allegedly breaching when the fact is it was Nicole breaching. This, and I said this from the beginning, I don't have to have an order. It says it right there. Whether or not there is an order with intent to deprive a parent, guardian, or any other person who has a lawful care or charge of that child of the possession of that child is guilty of an indictable offense and is liable to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 10 years. An offense punishable on summary conviction. Consent required. 2. No proceedings may be commenced under subsection 1 without the consent of the Attorney General or counsel instructed by him for that purpose. So, I have subpoenaed the Attorney General of Canada. So I want them to know, did you give consent for the proceedings in family law court. And they may say, no, we don't have to do that. Great. So now, since you're saying that, where was the consent? It says consent is required. Because remember, I contacted who? The U.S. Consulate and the U.S. Department of State. The U.S. government called me. This is what a lot of people don't get. The U.S. government called me. We got the phone call recorded. It's on X-Men site. It's on my YouTube channel. They said the children ain't crossing the border. That's why all you Canadians that's mad you got to give your biometrics. You can thank Nicole Tamara Nicholas for that. So anyone who's coming from Canada into the U.S. by land, sea, or air, you got to leave a picture. You got to get your picture taken, even if you're visiting for 30 days. Or if you're on a visitor visa for 6 months. You can't come into the U.S. Hold on. Let me finish. You're not going to go into the U.S. if you're going for 30 days. If the visitor visa is for 6 months from Canada, you have to leave your picture. You got to get your picture taken. So they can thank Nicole Nicholas for that. That's why she took off. Because she don't want to be seen.
Where's my picture?
You don't have a picture.
Where's the big camera?
The big camera is right coming up. So
Guilty. Yep. Oh yeah, she told the driver to take off. Okay, sit down. Sit down.
Be careful.
Yep, watch it. Watch it. That what happened. Thank you. Let's go. Sit down. Oh yeah, I want everybody. You see this? Look how she took off. She dropped them. She didn't even wait to hand them over to me. Put them out the car and took off. Guilty. Guilty. The guilty. The devil runs when no one's chasing them. She took off. Guilty. Yep. Oh yeah, she told the driver to take off. Okay, sit down. Sit down.
Be careful.
Yep, watch it. Watch it. That what happened. Thank you. Let's go. Sit down. Oh yeah, I want everybody. You see this? Look how she took off. She dropped them. She didn't even wait to hand them over to me. Put them out the car and took off. Guilty. Guilty. I'm so grateful I got this on Facebook Live. You El Rawat Aguabana. Oh yeah, guilty. Oh yeah, she guilty. Right? Telling the driver to take off. He didn't even watch where he going. He was almost going into the drive-in when people are coming out. Guilty. Right? She ain't tell me nothing. I'm inside. She's outside. She taking off. Don't matter. We get the car. All of them is guilty. Yep. She know. She knows. Okay, we going. Hold on. Right? So this is what I mean. What you taking off for and running for, Nicole? Because you kidnapped your own children. That's why you're taking off. Don't worry. We gonna give some more knowledge. Oh yes, the subpoenas are coming fast and furious. Those who want to go further, you can touch me on.
Oh yeah, so they really chopped this replay up, but it doesn't matter. We got the replay already. No, we're not gonna play it. No, you want to start at the beginning? No, not at the beginning. So this is what is currently happening. So all the principals involved have been subpoenaed, all of them, and it's filed into the court. All of them. So they now know they have to tell what story did Nicole give you all. And they're going to be under oath. So getting them to perjure themselves is a minute. That ain't no problem. The one is the crown appointed, not the crown, but the court appointed the one who's going to cross-examine Nicole. I issued her a subpoena. So now I'm like, oh, you got to be in court. Because I'm going to check. Anytime they say, where is she? If they say she's on video camera, I said, no, I'm challenging that. What? I subpoenaed her, number one. Number two, that, what you call it, the application on January 19th, that application was supposed to be, you want to tap down, you want downstairs?
No.
Okay, sit, no, let me help you. Sit still. So,
the beginning.
no, we're not starting at the beginning yet. We're gonna show. We can show another one. So, oh, okay. So, they've been subpoenaed. They have been subpoenaed, and so since they've been subpoenaed, they are now under oath. So we'll find out what story did Nicole give them and why were they violating my parental rights. And see, this is the bigger picture. The bigger picture is this, that no, if you keep asking for the Hatufi, darajat.
Hatufi.
Noted Hatufi. What's that?
I want eyes.
You want eyes? Okay. So the bigger thing is that now because they have to, they're under oath. So whatever Nicole told them, it ain't gonna hold up. They know she manipulated them. Now, see, they could brush it off. But when I handed the subpoena in, Asmuni, if you can't stay quiet, you gotta go down, tap that or jab.
Just like
Hadu, famok, agul famok suta.
I want
Samok, noted hatufi. We'll watch flowers afterward. Tahun? Okay, you could go to them, you could go bed. You want to go time for bed? Okay. So they know that whatever story Nicole told them is because she's going to perjure herself in 15 seconds. I already know that. I done told the Crown in multiple emails that she's going to perjure herself. Hadu Suta, the Smoony, Hadu, Famuk, Tawahat. She's going to perjure herself in 15 seconds. That's why I told Sergeant Todd, if you question Nicole, she's going to break in 15 seconds. She does not like being directly questioned. The video I just showed you all of her taking off and telling the driver to take off, that is the proof. And the Crown wants to put her on in court as the main. She's the one that they're relying on for this case to be. Not a chance, man. She's done. She's toasted. She know it. And know as we get closer to that date, if the Crown still wants to be arrogant and go forward, she ain't sleeping at night. When Atsikata Nation had our meeting to question her why she did not participate in our New Year's, she couldn't sleep. A week prior to, she's up binge watching TV shows and movies and TV series on Netflix. She couldn't sleep. She'd be up till 3, 4 o'clock in the AM. See, this is what certain people don't know. That's Mooney. This is what certain people don't know. So this is the reason why everybody, regardless of whether it's my situation or what have you, when you see these public officials start acting like this, now you have to put that out in the public. You got to put that on the internet, blockchain it, stream it. That's what you have to do, because they're not they're not going to follow. If somebody is their drinking buddy in the bar or in the law society, or they go fishing, or he's the godfather of my children, dang, I can't lock him up. Tough. That's go suit. That's secondary. Because they tell police they gotta swear oath that if their mother broke the law, they'd lock their mother up. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. You don't get no exemption. None whatsoever. This leads me to my next thing before we continue on with some more of the articles. If anyone has questions, please put them in the chat. You can call me as well, 587-712-0639. Let's see, where is it? I had something interesting. I have to say it because it connects everything together. I that'll be here. I was on my x.com. Supposed to be here. Oh gosh, come on now. Yeah, this is what I can't stand when I do these things. I post them. I think sometimes they're not posting certain things here. I got it. Oh yeah, here it is. Great. The Smoony. Why you keep thinking I'm not seeing? I watch you. Ab sees all. Yes, that's paper towel hat. So here is Baba Tundi down in Jamaica had made inquiries about what happened to the people who were the conspirators that were financially supporting Nicole. So as these things happen, as soon as you say these things in the White Autochthon News Network, something happens the following. So Mazoom was one of them that spoke on the phone with Nicole for about 4 hours. So here it is. Can everyone see this? Hold on, let me switch it over here. Okay, can everyone see this now? All right, so Mazoom Shilpare liked your repost. I ain't heard from her. She ain't emailed me. She ain't texted me. She ain't done nothing on Facebook. This is X.com here. So she liked the video about what happened to Buzz Aldrin at the Antarctica. So she put a heart. She liked your repost. Mazoom, stop already. You guilty. Remember when you told me and Antares that you weren't on Nicole's side? You were not on my side. You were on nobody's side. Remember that? I got the audio, but in typical Matrix fashion, it stops after about 10 seconds. X-Men can verify that because he's got a copy of it. And I say, hey, you play it. He played it. It stops after 10 seconds. We were on the phone for almost 2 hours. So Mazoom, this stuff here, yes, you got fooled. Eat that. You're responsible for supporting a kidnapper, Nicole Tamara Nicholas, the kidnapper. That's what she is. That's why they're going overdrive to cover, because all these public officials believed her, and the whole time she's using my cell phone on a no contact order. Then calls me from Calgary where she didn't have leave, she didn't have a court order. So this is the type of stuff that, yes, you all say you all want to be white, you want to walk in the light of the sun and all this stuff, and when it comes, when it comes, Smoothie, what, tap that jab, you can go. That's it. You can't sit still. So this is the reason why. This is the reason why people come for benefits of being white. They don't want to live it, or they'll do the optics of being white. When this stuff happens, I get to see who's really about fighting for what's right. That's how I get to see the ones who went, you were the 12 disciples. That's who you all are. And then when they say, hey, wasn't you with him? I don't know who you're talking about. I don't know that guy. Now Mazoom liking my what you liking my repost for? Because your conscience is eating your ass. That's why. You contributed to that kidnapper, Nicole, keeping my children from me. And you guys knew how I helped you all out. Y'all was having serious legal problems, and I'm helping you. And now when I'm saying, no, she's not our matriarch, what she did is wrong. She even said she was indigenous. We tried her. We found her guilty. And you guys are still sending her money? And I got the phone records. I see everybody she called, everyone she texted, everyone who texted her, everyone who called her. Mazoom was the longest. It was nearly 4 hours on the phone. So why are you liking my repost on X.com, Mazoom, when you were speaking to Nicole? See, that's that two-faced, slithery stuff. I don't go for that. That's why you get your ass flamed. Why are you reliking my post? Nicole's calling me a cult. She called you a cult. When Nicole called me a cult, anybody who changed their race and ethnicity, claimed their indigenous heritage, and proved they were not lost at sea, she called you all a cult, even if you're not an Atsikata. So now you see she don't even want to step out the car when she's dropping the children off. Why? Guilty. Guilty. She ain't posted nothing, can't post nothing, but she told everyone what? Roll the tape. So when that subject comes up, you're doing this. Yes, Nicole said roll the tape. So Nolan, the next block or whatever over, yeah, I subpoenaed him because he helped harbor my children from me. Nolan Retty. Yes. So you got served, and we saw the WhatsApp. So the WhatsApp, I got the screenshot. You saw the subpoena. So I'll see you in court on the 24th if the Crown doesn't. And the thing with Nolan, I find out he works for the government of Alberta as an engineer. So nothing is off the table for them to say, hey, that guy's your neighbor. We want you to keep an eye on him for us. Told you all. Everyone thought I was a joke. They were going to laugh me out the... I know Tim Petco ain't laughing me out of nothing. That man froze in that office with the children behind the desk. And he's telling me, while Aferti's on the phone, children don't answer the phones. I walk in yesterday and serve him. The children are behind the desk. The secretaries aren't there. The children are there. So what does that mean? The children are answering the damn phones. But the man standing there and lying, I'm like, he must have forgot something. When they had Pancake Day, I was there. When they had the retirement for Mrs. Shalene, I was there. When we did the biking, I was there. I went on field trips to help out with the school. I was there. Now y'all go turn around and lie and make stuff? Nah, y'all get your asses exposed, every one of you. Because I know the moment you got to get in that box, this Namuz is going to question and cross-examine you. And that is the image that got them shook. This is what you get for putting your hands. You touching my children. They ain't been in school for 90 days. Nobody stepping to Nicole. That's child trafficking ring. That's what that is. And that means the province of Alberta is involved. That will go back and it'll hit, what's her name, Danielle Smith. Because she was upset about the 3 weeks the teachers was on strike for. Oh, this is doing irreparable harm to our children. What happened to my children? They wasn't in school for 90 days. When I called Edmonton Public School Board, they said, your children ain't registered nowhere. And that was as of November 24th? No, November 25th, 2025. Child trafficking ring. So this is what we mean by cleaning up the filth made by the non-submitting fools. If you have law, honor your contracts. If you're not going to honor your contracts, then there is no law. Now what happens? Natural law, universal law, they come in. Case in point, that crack that you sent me, X-Man, I'm going to find out about the crack between Ohio and Canada, 8 Mile crack. I told you all this stuff was going to happen. They had an earthquake from Peace River? I think it was Peace River, all the way down to Calgary, earthquake, 4.5. I told you all, y'all wanted to play this? Hey, ain't no problem with me. I will bring it down. I will chant it down on this city of Edmonton. Try me. Oh, too late. We already did that. That's why the portals are open. In, through, of, above, under the city of Edmonton. And since the courthouse sits on a ley line, those portals are even worse. Because now the intersection of the courthouse and the street that it's close to, that's a node. Node, is like a dot. So when you have two lines that cross, it forms a dot. So the city of Edmonton, y'all fucked. Province of Alberta, you are all fucked. You see what's happening with Charles and them? You think that's a coincidence? There's a city in London called Edmonton, London. And then there's Edmonton, Alberta. And I checked the ley line from Edmonton connects to a castle on the east side of England. And the furthest castle, when you click on that node, it connects to the Edinburgh, Scotland. And what's up in Edinburgh, Scotland? There's a pyramid up there. There's also a castle up there with the Battenberg family. So that means from Edmonton going across and then from across going up diagonally. So those are connected. So I know where the pressure on me is coming from. Coming from the Battenberg, Habsburg, the Saxe, Coburg, Gotha. I don't care about the 13 Illuminati families. It don't mean nothing. We got this to show this planet is ours. Everybody who lives has to have this just in order to function. If you don't have that, you can't even function. You can't even be, you got to have that kiss or that breath of life. That has to come from the dark dot. And that's from the book African Origins of Biological Psychiatry by the incomparable Dr. Richard King. So your 6,000 years is up. You guys got somebody, which is Nicole Nicholas, running around like a banshee, lying. And now what has trickled has caused, see, it wasn't supposed to get to this. It wasn't supposed to be all this expose. Now they know. If you have, I want to know what she told you all. And when people find out what she said and her actions don't match up what she said, they know she's a liar. And at that point, all the EPS, CPS, that's Edmonton Police Services, Calgary Police Services, the shelters, the province of Alberta, the city of Edmonton, city of Calgary, you guys have committed genocide. There's no getting around that. Because if a child is not in school for a certain amount of days, they step in to say, what's going on? The protection order was lifted on the 31st. Now they want to go back and do a case on the breach. I said, good, I'm glad you did that. Now, 4 minutes after she got that, she used my phone and breached. So since you want to bring up the breach, she was using my phone to breach me. You can't use my phone to breach me. And if I want to call my other cell phone, I can because it's my phone. She was supposed to disclose that to you. This is why I don't think she told them that I subpoenaed her. She was supposed to tell the Crown I subpoenaed her. I don't think Nicole told them. So now that they say we have an application, I said, your application is toilet paper at this point because you were supposed to serve that to me in a timely manner. I served that a week before they did. It was February 5th. I did that on the 27th via email. And then on top of that, I have a charter notice, which is like a constitutional challenge on the case for malicious prosecution. And I'm going to add tort, because tort is the next thing. What my children have suffered, what Atsikata Nation has suffered, what I've suffered, that's tort. And then I filed a application to stay the proceeding. That was February 5th. Here we are, 14th. I ain't heard nothing from the Crown, so we'll see what goes on. I know they're watching. And I know they watched episode 30 because I sent them the email, let them know I'm streaming this email I'm sending to you, I'm streaming live. Here's the link. They have to watch that because now they want to know what the hell I said. Now when they see, yes, Charles is a fraud. You want me coming in? I'll expose that. Right after I said that, that's when the Epstein stuff jumped off. So now everyone's putting pressure on Charles to apologize to the victims for what his brother did. It's the royal, what royal? There ain't nothing royal about them. That's genetic mutation. Done. You're done. Anybody who wants to hang around with the emperor that has no clothes, they will be naked themselves. They will become naked. Let's see. Go ahead, Ed Nutaba. What's your question?
Abdul Kushai, you what be Wasam Timta. All right, kindly excuse the no camera. I'm on the other device. The other one not going boot up for now. All right, so I have something I want. I want your views on it, but I'm going to give you this premise that I'm looking at it from. So I am looking now at this revelation of this maybe horse team. Some
Say
people
that what?
call him Epstein. Horse team.
Epstein, yes.
Yeah, I call it horse team rather than Epstein. Could I'm seeing that all of this revelation is going on now because the crown of England interfered with the Trump bid for Canada. How do I see that?
The crown, say that question again, please.
So the England head, they interfered with Trump bid to take over Canada. So I am seeing this as a sort of
retribution.
Retribution. Yeah. Yes, I. fire. Yeah, so I want to hear the eye perspective or the eye premise on that.
Okay, so let's go. Let's go. Yeah, this isn't good here. So what with that, when Trump first hold on. I've got food. I go to it. When Trump see now everyone can see you. No, you're not pulling it off the camera.
Holding.
Yes, you can see your arms holding. Okay? All right, so let's add answer this question. Okay, here, I'll give that to you one time. Okay?
Okay.
10 minutes.
What? Enter. Try 7. My job.
Ed, all right, you want the flour?
Yeah.
Here's the flour. All right. So when Trump first came into office, or came into office the second time rather, what happened? Justin Trudeau went down. He was the first world leader to go see Trump. And then because Trump was talking about slapping tariffs on Canada. And so Justin Trudeau said, don't do that. You know, that'll decimate our economy. And so he said, okay, so why are we subsidizing you? He said, if that's the way you feel, then if we'll subsidize you and you just become the 51st state and you'll be its governor. Because he couldn't answer, why are we subsidizing Canada? He said he couldn't give me an answer. So, well, if you can't give me an answer, we got to subsidize you, then that's what we do for states. So therefore, why don't you just become the 51st state and you become its governor? So then you fast forward to Mark Carney now getting in, and Trump put tariffs on. And Carney was, oh, I'm not taking him serious, this, that, the next. But Carney moved his business from Montreal to New York. His wife and son, they don't live in Canada. They live in New York. I'm like, how is this man getting away with this? And he hadn't been in Canada he hadn't lived in Canada for 10 years because he used to be head of the Bank of Canada, then the Bank of England.
Sure.
So he's been out the country for 10 years. He don't have residency, but here he is. So I said, okay, well, let's see how this plays out. So now Carney takes off, goes to China to cut a deal. Right? Before that, Trump's telling Canada, y'all need to crack down on the fentanyl. Then Justin Trudeau said, oh, only less than 1% is fentanyl coming from Canada. And then somebody who used to work for Canada Borders said there's so many cargo containers, they can't get to them all. And they have to keep stuff moving. Anybody who's a longshoreman, anybody who works at ports, if you know somebody and you have a story, share that. I'll see it because they'll tell you there's so much containers coming in. They ain't got time to inspect everything. They got to keep stuff moving. They inspect what they can and keep it moving. If anyone can confirm that, please go ahead. So then Carney goes to China to cut a deal with China. Trump catches wind of that. He said, okay, if you go forward on that China deal, 100% tariffs on Canada. So whatever it costs them to make and they ship, they got to pay what it costs them to make to bring it into the U.S. You're talking companies are done in hours, not overnight, in hours. And then because they have the Canada-U.S. Mexico agreement called CUSMA, it came up, and that's when, I don't know how true it is or not, I have to check. The impression I was seeing is that Carney walked out of the negotiations and the discussions and Trump was upset. So I don't know how true that is. If that's true, this is the jockeying for position. Like Carney wants to make it look like he got some kind of negotiating strength over the U.S. He don't have that. Carney doesn't have it. Canada doesn't have it. And I have to keep seeing the numbers for people to comprehend what I'm saying.
Sure.
Canada is 34 or 35 million from coast to coast. The US is 340 million. And in the military, it's like close to a million. They got, what is it? Reserves. They got like a couple 100,000 in reserves. Canada got maybe 5, if that, in reserves, or it might be 2,000 in reserves. Who you think's winning that fight?
Well, the question is if there is a fight, because the fight not unfair.
Listen, all Trump got to do is make a phone call. This is why they're making it seem like bigger than what it is. It's a phone call. Or he might want to use his sonic weapons, like Venezuela was the test run. He go in there to Canada, go into Ottawa, use his sonic weapons. That's it. Canada, like they said, Canada, anytime the U.S. wants to invade Canada, they could do it. They'll be done by lunchtime. So if they still do their thing, they get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, the military. We do more things by 6 a.m. than most people do. Okay, if they get up at 4 and the military's in motion by 6, by lunchtime they done. They done took Canada over. And I can guarantee you, the noise that I'm making, you know when they're having their negotiations, they're throwing that in Canada's face. Oh, the rule of law. Oh, the rule of law. We got a U.S. citizen up there. She running around. She driving cars. She ain't got no insurance. She's kidnapping children. You all letting her just have free reign up there in Canada, in Edmonton. You letting her do anything and everything. So it's one of two things. Either she's a government agent or Canada recruited her as an agent, right? And let her just do what the hell she want to do. And I'm like, good. Now the universe will do what it wants to do to Edmonton. Keep playing. I keep telling them, keep playing. Keep playing with me. Those Satanists that work at the courthouse, the people who are Wiccan, the people who doing magic, the Africans who work there, who do voodoo, who do Kimbanda, Santeria, they already done pulled stones and bones on me. They're like, that one right there, you guys really did put yourselves in it. No. This will not end well. This is not going away. Too many people have been dragged in, and it will continue as long as they're not going to follow their own contracts. And that's why we went spiritual first. What did I always tell everyone? Put the spiritual world first, and whatever it is you're doing, even an offering, don't care if it's a glass of juice, it don't matter if it's an orange. You get what I'm saying? The point is you're saying you recognize anything that's on this plane, three-dimensional plane. I played Epstein last 7 days ago, and he was talking about mathematics and how there's different frequencies, that if you're at a higher frequency, you pass through walls, right? Did you hear that?
You had played that one last
7
Monday?
days ago. So you saw the Epstein, right?
Yeah, 12.
Right? Now, that changed my whole perception of him. I said, this guy's talking mathematics and frequencies? Whoa. He said, yeah, this table here was mathematics or the geometric science of creation. I was like, whoa. This man was talking geometry. I said, hold on. This is some different stuff y'all dealing with. So when I heard that, I said, okay, this is why we got to focus on the spirituality. Because what is it here? Let me show for everybody to give everyone a visual. When we look at what they call the visible light spectrum, where are we at here? Everyone should be able to see this. Good. Okay. Visible light spectrum. And we have this here. We can go into images. Okay, the visible light spectrum. Let me make sure everyone can see this. Then we'll go into some people's comments and chats before we wrap up. The visible light spectrum is the portion of the electromagnetic spectrum that human eyes can detect, spanning wavelengths from approximately 380 to 780 nanometers. So now we go to images. Where's the one here? Okay, so we'll pick out a couple of these. Oh, this is a good one here too. And if you check any of my old videos, I've talked about this. So now when we get into the visible light spectrum, and if they call, what's his name, Epstein, a pedophile or what have you, and this guy's talking about mathematics, he's talking about these people's heads. He ain't no financier, he's a mathematician. He is a mathematician. So what you see the picture here?
Sure.
All right, so you see ultraviolet, visible, infrared, right? So in one direction, you got heat. In the other direction, you have cold. So now, this here is spread out. The bottom part here, this is what we can see. Everything else, darkness on the right. Everything else, darkness on the left.
Sure.
So that means there are worlds that exist in infrared, microwave, radar, radio, broadcast that we cannot see if we stay attuned to this frequency only. Same goes for ultraviolet, X-ray, gamma, cosmic rays. You with me?
Sure.
Did you see the movie Predator 2 with Danny Glover?
Not yet.
Okay, you need to watch that. Anybody who saw Predator 2 with Danny Glover, and they had, I think the Jamaicans, it was all dogging the Jamaicans that year, because a couple movies was dogging Jamaicans. Oh, it must be the Jamaicans. And in the movie, the gang was led by, oh gosh, what was his name? Papa something. And he was into voodoo. Even though he was a drug dealer, he was doing voodoo. And he was and he had some of his captains and stuff. When they got the guy and said yes, they said, I have to take your soul. And then they got him and they went upside down in the guy's apartment and drew a pentagram on the ground and were lighting candles.
Sure.
He was there, but he had his men do the ritual there in the guy's apartment in the movie. So Predator 2 with Danny Glover, you want to watch that. So what you see now, how are gangs, now that was back in the 80s. The video with the, what's his name? I think it was, where's that jail they were sending all the guys to? Argentina, is it Argentina? The president of Argentina?
Costa Rica.
No, Costa Rica is more, no, Argentina, I'm talking on South American continent. Costa Rica is more of an island.
Sure.
That's where they're sending everybody. And he said when they were raiding the gangs, either it's Nicaragua, somebody knows, y'all can put it in the chat. I just saw the video the other day. He said when they were raiding the gangs, they were finding altars when they were executing search warrants where these gangs was doing magic and rituals. So he was trying to tell the politicians and them down there, I think it is Argentina. He said, listen, this is not a joke. These guys was doing magic to help with what they were doing, even though they were selling drugs. So where we are going to get our best advantage, especially when you're dealing with a system that is dishonorable as this, you cannot put your faith and trust in this 3D holographic universe. It is an effect. It is not a cause. So when you start calling, whether it's your direct ancestors, if you had a good relationship with them, because Bashar said, all your help that you need is all around you. Your ancestors are around you. I'm like, okay, make some shit happen. So they heard. We saw what happened these past 7 days. This has been, they can't, because I'm telling you, Tim had the paper. He's looking at the subpoena. His head is down and he couldn't move. And he's looking at it. He just froze. Then as I'm leaving, I turned back to look. Because I figured he gonna leave and go to his office. He's still there. He didn't move. I said, oh, you already know your goose is cooked. And that will be embarrassing for a principal to come into a criminal court
and have to answer questions of the father who you had allowed his son to get taken out of school because you conspired with the mother against the father. Now it comes out.
Sure.
Hold on, I'm not finished yet.
Yeah.
So my point being, this is what we see here. Everything over here and over here is in the non-physical world, or it's in a world that's beyond our comprehension. When we start tapping into that and bringing it into here, into the visible light, that's how you're going to cause things to change. We already have it because of this. This is what we're already connected. Who's the one who said it? Dr. Cruz, who talks about getting, get rid of the LED lights and all the tube lights. He said, he started talking melanin. And he said, people with melanin, you have the ability to get messages from the universe, signals, cosmic messages. So we're already connected. We have to make it part of our daily life and not think of it, oh, I got to do this. No, you're already connected. So any difficulties that we have, that's where we go to put that energy of changing this 3D holographic into that which is more beneficial for us. Overstood?
Sure.
Go ahead, continue.
Yeah. So when I observe, because this thing here now, 2008 till now is 17 years or 18, because we're in 26 now. And I am saying this thing takes so long before them start reveal it. So it have to be a link. It have to have some link with where Trump attend for do and then England come in and yeah, it's like them are different Canada, them up on the side of Canada. So for see all of this come out though. But where I don't see Trump linkages yet with him.
Linkage with who?
With Horstein.
With Epstein? No, he attended some parties. See, there was a documentary that Netflix did on Epstein, and in there they showed that. I knew about that. We saw this years ago. They called Trump, said, "What do you know about him?" He said, "Hey, I'll tell you anything you know," because they figure, oh, you might be busy. If I could call another time, he said, "No, I got time." He said, "Whatever you want, whatever you want to know." And he told them about that. Then when Epstein got charged, Trump immediately barred him from Mar-a-Lago.
Oh.
See, this is what the press is not reporting. Trump barred him. Once he found out he got charged, oh, he's trafficking young girls, that was it. His stuff was revoked immediately. That's what you do for embarrassing things. You don't let the stuff drag out. Well, give him the benefit of the doubt. No, because that affects reputation, that affects business, that affects commerce. Nope, he don't want that. So when I say child trafficking ring in Edmonton, these public officials know what I mean. Explain why my children, I couldn't see him for 71 days. She don't have no order. Explain that. Explain why my children didn't go to school for 90 days. They can't explain that without perjuring themselves. Explain why she contacted the U.S. consulate in Calgary trying to get a travel document for my son because she was trying to take off. That's why. So when I brought up the Hague Convention on the civil matters, no, it's called civil aspects of international child abduction, I said, this is international child abduction. This is the Hague. I'm invoking it. That's when Justice McGuire got mad. And then she hopped off the bench. I'm going for a 5-minute recess. What you going for a 5-minute recess? Now I know why she went for a 5-minute recess, because she knew Nicole was in where? Calgary without leave. So they had the ballerina and the whole court set up, right? I don't know what her name is in courtroom 314. I know Keller, the duty counsel, was dismissing the fact that Nicole had to give a 60-day notice. That duty counsel, he knew and tried to fake me out. Then because it was supposed to go in front of the ballerina, but she had a part that went from here all the way to the other side of her head. I've never seen a woman with a part that long. When I caused a ruckus in the courtroom and said, why is my case being called last? And then got Keller all bent out of shape. He got all, I'm going to call security. I said, so what? And then the justice said, sir, I'm in the middle of a disposition. Could you please sit down? So on that case, for that family case, they will hear in the court transcript me saying, why is my case being called last? And they can't change the record and they can't omit it because one of the lawyers was in the middle of explaining his side when I spoke up. That's now part of that record for that case. So I'm saying, why is my case being called last? I'm number 14, but you calling me last? I said, nah, that's a kill box. We know that now after I learned that, oh, if they're going to clear the courtroom and do you last, that's called a kill box. They're getting ready to break the law because you'll be the last person. There's no other witnesses. And if you don't have a lawyer, that's their way of railroading you. It's clearing the courtroom so nobody could see. So I said, oh, that's a kill box. So I said, the ballerina or Mrs. Farad Muhammad, however you want to take it, she was there because I watched how Keller was working with Nicole. Nicole had her documents and he's looking at it and they're nodding and I'm sitting there watching all this. I said, wow, how do you know her? Why y'all so clicking up? And I said, okay, that's what the setup was. But when I spoke up, they had to move everything, new judge, new court. So I'm sitting there focused on, okay, how am I going to deal with this woman now? Because clearly this is a setup and I got to wait till I'm last. Then they turn around and say, oh, we're going to move these 2 court cases upstairs. So they moved our case and a black couple. One of them was a police officer upstairs. I said, oh, so you put all the people with carbon in the same courtroom so it doesn't look like there was bias. I said, you ain't fooling nobody. That's when the truth came out with Justice Kiss. She asked Nicole, where do you live? I live in Calgary. Where in Calgary do you live? I live in a shelter. So why is it that Justice McGuire, MJ McGuire, refused to answer my question? Where is Nicole? Is she living in Calgary or Edmonton? That's all I asked. Because the affidavit she filed was in Calgary, should never have been put on the record. That should have been struck because she had to have what? Leave from the court. And that's what Justice Kiss said. You don't have leave. You don't have an order from the court. You're acting like you're the only parent here. You're not. And the children live in Edmonton. That's on the record. So now when what's his name? Sergeant Todd calls me and says, Nicole changed her driver's license. It's now Calgary. I'm laughing at him. I said, he just confessed to aiding and abetting. I told him, Justice Kiss said she didn't have leave to be in Edmonton. You have to give 60 days notice. Sure. So before we get to that question with the principals up here, the first question is, what was the reason that Nicole said she took the children out of school? Because she didn't call till the 12th of September. She was in Calgary on the 6th. Does everybody hear what I'm saying? So now she calls the school after a week, says, oh, the children are not going to be in school. What did she tell him? So she told him, hey, I'm going to register the children in another school. I'm moving out the area. I'm getting away from this side of town. Cool. But if she told him, I'm in Calgary, that's why I'm pulling them out, and that comes up, she just confessed to kidnapping. Because I already showed you all the statute.
Sure.
So now all these public officials aided and abetted a kidnapping. They did a 60s scoop, aided and abetted. That's why my Zoom is saying, oh, I like your repost. Go fuck yourself. Don't fucking give me no goddamn, oh, I like you reposting the damn the Arctic. I said, sounded to me like you one of them reptilians. You like that one, so that must be some people you know down in the Antarctic that gave Buzz Aldrin a damn heart attack and a stroke in the middle of the Atlantic. They had to airlift him out and get him to a hospital.
Sure.
No, this is what happens. They get the heat. Why do y'all think the sun is letting off all these sun rays? There's a hole on the sun. There's all these sun rays. Don't you all understand? I'm connected to the sun. We're connected to the sun. We sent energy to the sun. The sun is coming down on Alberta. Now, if the crowd got any sense, if Charles, the Windsor shape-shifted reptilian, got any sense, listen, leave this alone. Let's settle this, and that's it. Because now there's too many eyes focused on Epstein, who's connected to Epstein, who is on Epstein's plane, right? See the game? You might know somebody that's a bad man, but you don't do stuff. But people are going to associate you with the bad man just because you know him.
Yeah, which is why I ensure say I circle now and anyone welcome. So yeah.
So
I don't know
now,
if it,
it's come back. Hold on, it's come back to them now. They may not have done anything with Epstein, but just the fact they was on the plane, they was at a party, right? They probably don't do nothing. But the fact that Epstein is like a reverse tar baby. If you was on his plane, if you was at his party, if you was talking to him, people are automatically thinking you doing something to children. So that's why that's why they're petulant. It's got them all spooked now. Yeah, I was Bill Gates. I made a mistake. I shouldn't have did that. Next one, yeah. Who was the other one that was real funny? Sarah Ferguson, the video that I played earlier. Yes, she made a mistake. They said she was real close. She called him the brother she never had. So now, how can they extricate themselves from that? Can they?
No.
Now, let's put this in perspective with Nicole Tamara Nicholas, who called herself Sawset Tourette, said, Chief has the whole planet in checkmate. He's the plenipotentiary of Earth. Roll the tape. She said all that when BHA was coming after her. She didn't call me no cult. I helped her win that. Right when Forcelli and them was coming after, nope. They even wrote. I got the documents here. They wrote and said her chief contacted her boss. Right there, that is an acknowledgement that a law firm recognized I'm a chief. Then we just got Kathy Hochul. Everybody know about her, the governor for the state of New York. She constantly sending me emails. Now it's getting like every other month I get an email from her. Hold on, let me put one on here real quick so everybody could see.
Sure.
Make sure I get the right tab. Okay. Yeah, she just sent one just the other day. So I don't need the courts of Edmonton. I don't require them to accept. I'm telling them I am accepted as a chief, speaking internationally, and I am indigenous. You all have committed genocide. There's no statute of limitations on that. So here it is. Yeah, Governor of New York delivering universal child care. Here, an update from the governor to use expanded child care tax credit. Right? My state address. That was January 15th, February 5th, February 12th, just 2 days ago. 12/31/2025. Right? A look back at 25. Look, this is all the governor of the state of New York. When Mayor Giuliani said that New York is the capital of the world. New York City is the capital of the world / New York. If you got a problem with that, take it up with the Vatican. I've already communicated with the Vatican in the House of Orsini. All of that stuff. It is over for them. They're fighting the inevitable. And they got caught in their own statute. So when the Sergeant Todd is saying Nicole changed her address to Calgary, I'm laughing because the justice said she don't have leave to even be in Calgary. That nullifies her 911 complaint because she didn't have permission to be there. She had to get 60 days notice. You have to fill out a federal form. We got to go to court. I would get the opportunity to object, of course. Then we go to court. That's how that's done. You don't pick up the children and take off to another city 3 hours away, but you have a protection order protecting you here in Edmonton. Now, you trying to get south. That's kidnapping. That's child trafficking. That's what that is. And so she ain't called for a week. He ain't know this. They know now because I know they're watching because there's a detective that sent me an inspector, and then a detective is watching. So I know the detective is watching this. Y'all are burning for this. Everyone who touched Nicole with my children, you all burn for this. You don't get off. You burn. That's the province. That's the premier. That's the education minister. That's the solicitor general. That's the courts. That's the Justice M.J. McGuire. That's, what's his name, Manziuk, because he took off, right? That's all of them. Justice Krause, Justice Kiss, all of you all. And what are we saying? We're saying it ain't coming from the physical. It coming from the spiritual, from the darkness. Because shook the door. So I'm telling them, as a negotiator between this realm and the spiritual realm, you better do what you need to do according to your statute. And that means you charge her for public mischief, kidnapping, child abduction, her and the rest of the accomplices for aiding and abetting and harboring my children from me. This don't go away. This will go on into your generations, into your lineages, into your DNA. You see what the godfather of AI said? He said he don't know what to tell his own children because AI is coming so fast, people ain't going to be able to have jobs. The guy from Google AI said, man, forget about getting a law degree and a medical degree. That's a waste of time. By the time you graduate, the AI is already gone. That's why I said, for what it takes in 4 years, AI will get that done in a month. So let's say 6 months, AI will already master a PhD for being a doctor. Meanwhile, these guys got to go to how many years of medical school before they can get that, then they got to do their internship. Now you're a doctor. That's too long. That's taking too long when you got a computer that can do that faster. It's too long. You can't. That's like that old, remember the old Paul Bunyan cartoon? Does everyone remember the Paul Bunyan cartoon? And he took on that machine, right? And Paul Bunyan cut as best he could. He couldn't beat the machine. That's what's happening right now. Why am I going to sit there and go to a doctor only unless you got to get an operation or something when you could do your own self-diagnosis? And diagnosis is not a good word, medically speaking. So they're fighting a losing battle, is what I'm saying, Baba Tunde. They're fighting. You can't beat the computer, and they're so rigid. They don't have the flexibility. They don't have the ability. Hey, you got to be flexible. You got to be fluid because the computer is moving fast. So how do you think you're going to control that? By being rigid. Your systems are obsolete. You're looking at the beginning stages of an obsolete system. Talking judiciary. You see the banking, they ain't playing around. They're fighting, but they're not playing around. They know they got to be flexible. So who's being inflexible? Politics, law, judges, the judiciary. They're being inflexible and oblivious that they will wake up and they'll say, don't even bother coming to work as a justice. We don't need you. That's what that movie, they're telling them. There's a movie that came out. I haven't seen it yet. It's called Mercy. It came out last month. Mercy. In that movie, people who are charged, they get 90 minutes to prove their innocence. Ain't no courts, ain't none of that. They're held, but they're going to get all the data, everything they need to do to prove that they're innocent. They got 90 minutes. That's the movie. Ain't no judge, it's an AI judge. Ain't no physical, ain't no humans. Who was it that just did, oh gosh, the first AI cabinet minister? Was it New Zealand? Or some country just did it. the first AI cabinet minister. That's it for them. These are obsolete. They're obsolete. They will serve no purpose. And they don't see that. I see it. I'm telling them, listen, you better do this and fix this because there's going to be human consequences for you damaging.
Well,
all right.
There is a just before you move forward, there is a it's now coming out that the same guy here, Horstein, paid for research to be done on the top athletes in Jamaica. Asafa Powell, Usain Bolt, and the rest of that set of so-called elite.
Yes.
And it's now coming out that he funded that research. So
and you know why? And you know why he did that?
No.
Because he wanted to put his DNA in everybody on the planet. So the people who took the jab, they got Epstein's DNA in that jab because he wanted his DNA. He wanted everyone to have his DNA. So from a macro view, from a bigger picture view, he'll live forever. No, don't. No, no. What do you think? Watch the movie Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. What happened when Quill found out his father was an immortal? His father took him through a scene where he wanted to be able to live. So they showed him mating with all sorts of different entities and different species and life forms. So he spread his seed out throughout the world. That was a movie. Now you see Epstein said, yes, I want everyone to have my DNA. I'm like, why would you want that? Because he wants to what? Live forever. You hear doctors who are doing in vitro fertilization. One doctor got caught because instead of taking the sperm of the husband, the doctor was substituting his sperm to impregnate the women. So they had a case up in Canada, like 20 of these children, none of them, they have the same. The surrogate mother is the surrogate mother, but the father, they checked the DNA, it ain't the father. The doctor swapped his sperm with the sperm. I'm telling, this is what's going on, man. This is what's happening. So all these children have different mothers. The father is there, all the offspring of this doctor who gave his sperm and swapped the sperm out. This is what these guys do. Understood?
Much appreciated.
That's your good door.
Apparently,
you have a question. So that's why I keep saying, everybody, this is what these public officials are. Pimps, hoes, prostitutes, pirates, and pedophiles. Fair to your question, are the Edmonton Clerk of Court's office IRA incompetent? Are agents delaying your filings? Some of them, I know they were blocking my filings because, again, I had 3 ex partes. I had one filing that they took over a week to get back to me on, and their turnaround time was 72 hours. They've been trying to stop me. They wanted to paint the picture of me as a monster. Said the monster is the one that was in that car that left the children out there at the McDonald's in the driveway. That's the monster. But you see, birds of a feather strike but. However, birds of a feather stick together. So she corrupt, they corrupt. They'll be working perfectly. What it is saying the tablets, Luciferians and Satanists will work together if they have a common goal. So it's not off the wall. They got a common goal. This was an operation to get me. That's what it was. But what they don't understand, and they're finding out now, I already put my pawns and my tripwires out years ago. So now they're realizing the laser points are on them. And they're like, we can't move. So no, you can't.
I'm surprised more of her. I said it the day of the videos that she has not complied with anything the Edmonton courts have said. She also does what she wants. She's free from any kind of liability, yet everyone is falling around her. So I don't understand what's, crabs in a barrel.
Asmodeus, this is why I had to say a
I-
walk. This is what I'm saying. A walk in. A walk in. Another another spirit. Spiritually transmitted disease. Another spirit.
We've seen it.
Because it's like why is that's why I asked Sergeant Todd. I said, why is no one questioning her? What are y'all scared of her? Why is everyone scared of her? He ain't say nothing. I said, is she the devil's daughter? Say that. Just let me know. Oh, you married the devil's daughter by accident. I could deal with that. Ain't no problem. But one thing she's not going to do is corrupt the children. Not on my watch. She's not going to corrupt them. I'm going to tell them their mother kidnapped them. That's why things are the way they are, for money. So as they get older, we got this all decentralized. They don't know where the information I have is coming out, where it's going to come from. They have no clue.
I'm a witness. I mean, I worked for the Department of Juvenile Justice back 2004 to 2007, and I saw parents coming here like they were concerned about their children, but it was mostly likely it was all about them. It wasn't really about those children, and you could see them when they left. They would come to us like we were surrogates, because they knew when they went home.
It wasn't about that. It was the child is what? They are a resource. And like Nicole likes to say, people are resources. And I'd be like, I don't understand that. What do you mean people are resources? And like they're not gold. They're not like I'm looking. They're beyond that. Like, what do you mean people are resources? Because if you say that, there's no connection. And any connection to them is disingenuous just to gain their trust, right? Because that's why she got mad that none of the Amorite women will file a complaint against me. So they can't because I was coming out to the events. I said, yeah, remember, Rebecca, when I saved your life, I saved all the children. We were out at the corn maze in flicking 80-degree weather and got lost in the corn maze. So I'm running. The women are trying to give the children water because it's hot out there. So I said, let me go ahead and find a pathway out, because if I don't, we're going to get lost. You know what's going to happen next? These children are going to stop bawling. And I, at the last second, said, I wanted to come. So Nicole said, okay, you come. I'm going to come out there. I want to be out there. You guys are going to the corn maze. I said, if I wasn't there, I said, y'all would have been on CTV or Global News. And I said, oh, yeah, some children fell out. And it was a whole big thing. And that was good. We prevented that. But somebody got stabbed out there. They let some guys from us. Yes, same corn maze. They had some people from the psych hospital, from Alberta Hospital, went out there. Two of the guys knew each other. They got into something. Next minute, killed the guy right there at the corn maze. That was it. They shut the whole corn maze down. They said we're going to open up sometime next year, which is 2026. I said, oh, damn. So I don't know, because all those staff there, they're done. That's it. They got to go for counseling. They went to work and they saw, because there's young people that's there. They're like teens to mid-20s. So they're not coming to work expecting somebody to die at a corn maze. And then the one who killed the other one, he just stood there like, okay, that was it. He did not, that's all he wanted was to get that guy, and that's it. He was cool.
So I guess when I was growing up, that was a normal. I walked over one body one day. It was in the hallway of my building, and we had no elevator, so I had to walk over.
Because here's this might be 2 million people in the city of Edmonton, maybe.
Yeah.
Where you're at, it was like 25 million in New York City. So that's different. Or people who come from India, people living on top of each other. So that's why you see a lot of people from India here in America, right? Because it's packed, it's getting overcrowded over there. So we come to another place. Tua Atuyan Utati Hadur Suta. So this is what I'm talking about. So Canada cannot say they are rule of law abiding. They can't say it. When I get the next email from the UN asking for an input, whether it deals with children or whatever, this whole situation, I'll get that 5 pages done in about 20 minutes. Because I just have to cut and paste here, this is what happened. Canada committed genocide against a speaker that was at the United Nations pertaining to AI. Not only that, permanent forum on indigenous issues. Not only that, we've also done permanent forum on people of African descent. This doesn't stay hidden. That's why I know the premier was mad when she said we want to be able to decide which UN conventions we want to accept. You can't do that, Danielle Lewis or Danielle Smith. You can't do that. If you say you want to have Alberta in a united Canada, then you have to comply with the international bodies and the treaties that Canada has signed off on. You are a province. You don't get to say, well, we're going to take human rights, but we're not going to accept indigenous rights, or we'll take CERD, elimination of racial discrimination, but we're not going to accept the Declaration on Human Rights. No, you don't get to do that. If you want to, you got to be your only way you could do that. You got to be your own country.
But Marco, what I've observed over the last 6 months by your side, we are brothers and nation members, is that this is going to be a precedent in Alberta. And I think this is what they're trying to avoid.
Can't avoid it. I'm making too much noise.
And anybody who has this kind of situation that follows will go here. I got a case law.
His Majesty versus Ale. They're like, nope.
Yeah.
Nope. That's it. This is the exact same thing, whatever they're going through. They can cite it.
And
that's why when I brought up Regina versus Ja, you can't have it both ways. You can't say Charles is the king of Canada and say what happens in the UK doesn't apply to Canada. No, you cannot. Because why do you have a governor general? He is the king's representative in Canada when the king, quote unquote, sick, is not here. That's why they were laughing at him in Australia. Like, what is this? What do you mean we're on unceded territory? Is he confessing he's not supposed to be there? Yes, he just did that. That's what he confessed. Land acknowledgement. Here, I'm letting everybody know this right now. I'm going to be putting together a planetary acknowledgement, but this is a temporary one. This is a planetary acknowledgement that anyone with melanin, carbon, as they call it, melanin, we call it carbon. This is a planetary acknowledgement for all to know you are on our planet. So your land acknowledgement don't mean nothing. You're on our planet. And who's the reference point? You all already know who the reference point is. The NASA astronaut, Clark McClelland, who said the blacks, quote unquote, we're not black, we're white Autochthons. However, for the sake of the discussion, so people understand, are the original owners of the planet. So the crown who's listening, watching, EPS, the rest of them, I go up in court. If you guys still don't want to stay this, I'm saying that you're on my planet. Not what I said. The confession from Clark McClelland, who was a former astronaut who admitted he's from the Pleiades star constellation. So y'all ain't even from here. And I forget that Amorite that's on Facebook that's wearing all the piltages, and the Amorite saying, listen, if pale skin is here, how can pale skin be on a planet that cannot be underneath the sun? How is this? So if you cannot be underneath the sun without skin cancer or fear of getting burned, how can this be your planet?
I'm in Florida. I see them burn. I saw them burn last year, and I'm going to definitely see it in the next month or two. It's getting worse.
Because we called on the sun. That's why we raise our hands. When you stand and you raise your hands, you're telling Ray to come closer. So everyone is hearing it. Everyone could say, you don't have to turn your mic on. We say it right now. Timta, Ray, come closer.
Come closer.
Come closer. That's why when we start communicating with the sun, what I forget the name of the movie, but they said they were sending signals to the sun, and the sun was responding. So we just have to call on Ray. No one is staying in the realm of Amun with the amount of dishonor that they've done. Talking about Edmonton, the province of Alberta, right? Edmonton Police Service, Calgary Police Service. None of them they're not staying. And see what's got them shook. A lot of them are studying Aleister Crowley's work. And Aleister Crowley was the one, Golden Dawn, right? They called him the most evil man in the world, right? All of that is Egypt. So when they see me come in with this, all of this, they're like, oh no, somebody's probably telling them like, this is not going away. This is we're going to get exposed. We need to stop this. We can't proceed against him. He's going to tell on the entire system. So when they say land acknowledgement, we're in the original territory, you're on the original planet of the original Nuboons, of the descendants of the original mitochondria DNA, E1B1A and E1B1B. This is our planet. Your land claims mean nothing. This is our planet. The ones claiming the land here are from Siberia. That's confirmed genetically already. The Chinese, you got young Generation Z saying no, that the people calling themselves Native Americans, they from the Red Deer Caves in China.
Now, I have a question. Haven't you been getting all these different calls, people calling and not leaving messages? And also when
Or
we're
there's nobody on the phone, there's nobody, I call greetings, silence, nothing. Yeah.
yes, and we know that for the record that the Edmonton police are monitoring our calls because every time we speak and other Autochthons are speaking during the week, it's just some abrupt call cut off and
Yeah.
the you hear sounds and
Yes.
echoes and so we
Yes.
curse them every time. Literally,
Yes.
just don't know, they get
See
cursed every time we
what
try.
that is a confession of fealty that the magic we did on August 12th is real. Who knows what other things are going on down at the courthouse and in the city of Edmonton that we don't know about?
Yeah.
But they're the ones who got sensitive. The Ale did that, man. He done brought it down on Edmonton. He brought. I said, next minute is bringing down 1,000 sons. Nicole knows I know how to do that. Bring down 1,000 sons. I said, okay, this is what y'all want. No problem. And ExxonMobil knows about what's going on because I've emailed them. Yeah, the CEO of ExxonMobil, they're one of the largest investors in Alberta. So I sent them the child trafficking ring. So when investors in ExxonMobil or people who have a portfolio with ExxonMobil find out, yes, I can prove a child trafficking ring, easy. That's with the Education Act, the Family Law Act. That's easy. How many children do you know that don't go to school for 90 days and no social services or anybody, they don't question the mother or they don't even get in touch with the father? That's a child trafficking ring. That's what that is. And they got to stay silent because if they open their mouth, then they got to explain why are the children this, why are they that. So they'll figure it out, and I'm sure they're watching. You all made the mistake taking Nicole's 911 call from Calgary using my phone to try to breach me to say I was communicating with her and it's my phone and my account and my name. And instead of tossing this one like you tossed the first case, you want to proceed this one. Good. Now we get to go back to the very beginning. This is where Nolan Retty comes in because she called me. So once I showed, they already have the phone records. Nobody's seen the TELUS records. Only members of Atsikata Nation have the TELUS records. I got the records for my phone and my second phone, which she was using. So my first phone, second phone. So my second phone, which she was using, she calls me before the EPO was brought into existence, which proves that it wasn't her phone she was using. So once she got it, she was supposed to relinquish that phone. She was supposed to tell the justice this is his cell phone. They say, okay, well, you can't use his cell phone because it's his phone. And when the order says no contact, direct or indirect, you can't use anything that's his. Period.
I think they're holding on to the I don't know. I just know based on our training that they're trying to monetize this case to a point. They're trying to get somebody on the roll. And I know Nicole.
They roll the tape. That's the one who they get, Nicole. So if anytime they complain, I said, no, your witness said roll the tape. She said stop the tyranny. She said stop everything. Y'all who have seen it. So I'm doing what your witness said. Roll the tape. I even told her last week, don't let them blackmail you, Nicole. Then she walks up, rolls her eyes. You can roll your eyes all you want. Everybody saw it. You telling everybody on the planet, roll the tape. We don't care. Yesterday, drops the children off, hops in the car, bounce. Guilty.
And even in front of the children, she's showing that she's
not holding up well. I know this. So instead, but see, the problem is it's tort feasor. So as a tort feasor, they've damaged my children. They've damaged Atsikata Nation of Yamasee Moors. They've damaged me. Their compensation and restitution is in order. That is required at this point. Because she can't answer one. This is the easy question. Why did you go to Denny's after you left the house? Can't answer.
And I was on the phone, Nicole, when you were talking to him.
No, but let's go back before that. What happened before she left? She was on an Atsikata Nation, a Yamasee Moors meeting. She was being questioned. She got upset, belligerent, disrespectful. So I removed her off the meeting. That's what happened. And she realized at that point the jig was up and she was trying to create a mutiny, whether it was deliberate, whether it was an effect of the liquid computer operating system. She took the children, left. Now, why did you go to Denny's? And then you were on the phone and I said, yeah, fair teasing. Yeah, what about her? Now you got nothing to say. And then the court is so stupid. Oh, he made up another identity called Reginald Owens. I'm like, no, that was the one. He was the one who did an affidavit and got it notarized in the state of Florida. What the hell are you talking about? I didn't make nothing up.
I sent you an email from 2018 when Nicole was emailing me instructions for the webinar and other things. You know, she knows who Reginald Owens is.
So this is it. She can't claim cult, but she was glad that what's their names, that I saved her. Canada border was going to deport her. This is what a lot of people don't know, like Mazoom. So it's either it was an operation to get me, or she said, hey, what can you give me in exchange? So she tried to cut a deal. You can't cut no deal when I'm pulling everybody that you talk to into court now. And they all got it. They all got it. They all got to speak. Utati, out your head, we're going to say Rawat.
Yeah, just want to know how she lied, what lies she told them. I think I told
That's
you that.
what I want to know, because once they tell the truth, her credibility on the record is blown at that point. That's why I played the video. Said it ain't about her lying. It's about why should we trust anything she says. She told the police she's not coming back to Edmonton. Cool. Why are you back here? That means you contradicted yourself. So you say one thing, you do something else. That's what it is. All right, y'all ready, Judge?
Much appreciated, Michael.
Much appreciated. So that's it. So yes, this is what it is. No, you just get over here. So it doesn't matter how they like it or not. Well, not yet. We're not. Hold on. It doesn't matter whether they like it or not. These Edmonton and Alberta public officials aided and abetted the kidnapping of my children and making me give my children back to the kidnapper every 7 days. So doesn't matter. Prove she's not. That's the point. And they can't prove it because their fingerprints are all over Nicole. That's why. All right, everyone. Kashikadur. There you go. There you go.
I can't see.
You can't see here. How about this? There you go. There you go. There you go.
That's the door.